smoke another bowl.
Goodness, you'd think I'd fucking learn to unmute.
You interrupted what we were talking about, but go ahead with your show.
Oh, I still haven't got to unmuting you because fucking OBS has updated and I now have to change your feed. Try talking.
Hello.
There we go. Everybody can hear everybody now. There we go. Hi. I don't know how this is going to go. I had to scrape barrel and get some people from Jizzy Pickles channel. But we've got Knock, we've got Big Willie Piss Hat, and we've got Space Cadet from what I've seen with what you've done with Wildheart. All I can do is bow down, you know. That's some life skills and patience.
What I've done with him.
What have you done with him?
Ongoing sort of project.
She's teaching
the
our
Wildheart project.
Yeah, teaching our wee Wildheart how to grow up.
Home. Oh, that's right, the home ec. Yeah, she's doing home economics.
I don't know. My mind went other places with that, and I'm just not.
Mine too.
Yeah. Could you say that a different way? Maybe?
Oh, you've been doing such good things with him.
So we were bantering back and forth. I was thinking of topics. We were going over different topics and things to talk about. And we had fun with the God stream a couple of weeks ago. I thought that went well. Willie destroyed the earth. We all had different opinions. And Mowdy had just all over his face. So we thought we would try and say somewhere along that sort of a game, that sort of a style of a game. Space Cadet didn't get to be here for that one, and they found it interesting. So we're going to go something along the same lines tonight. We're going to hash out rules for Genie in a Bottle, and then we're going to see that and try that, and then bounce questions off that. So we were discussing beforehand, I think 3 rules is too much. I think 2 wishes is plenty.
Okay, but what are the limitations of the wishes? Like,
well, we've just went live.
Can we raise the dead?
We will give us 15 minutes, okay? We'll have 15 minutes to decide.
I thought it was going to be like what you would change about your past. Has that changed to 3 wishes? 2 wishes?
Well, I can use one of them wishes if we wanted to.
Yeah.
But the Genie in a Bottle
thing. You can change your past?
Yeah.
Small. Oh, well, is that a real
Because no, butterfly effect. It's going to fuck up everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
How far back can you go? It wouldn't fuck everything up if you went back a week.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be difficult.
Sure.
You're going to go back a week instead of bomb?
Well, nothing that Wildheart does matters anyway, so I guess it's pretty safe.
Yeah, well, thanks.
You have to leave your flat to matter. I'm sorry, you do.
Right, so you want 3 wishes.
It's fine, I guess, but I just want to know, can you reanimate?
I don't think you should be able to bring anyone back from the dead.
Oh, but why?
But we have to have it slightly different than last time, so I think on a principle of being different, we'll say yes.
You want to bring back,
love you.
You want to bring back Hitler, don't you? Well,
I was thinking it. I didn't say it.
Why would you think that? That's crazy.
just
right. But if you're bringing them back, they're going to just be here now, you know. So
right. Yes.
Yeah.
Just going to capitalize off his. You know, people think he'll be a clone or something. But right. Okay. So we've established that you can bring. Hello, Cider and Port. Oh, and hello to everybody in the audience. We've got Jay and Sadie and Raw and Let's Debate and Darg's there. And, you know, hello to everybody that's watching. Thank you all for coming. We were having a conversation on Wilds and it just felt like the conversation flowed on. It's not, I didn't forget about you.
Nice save. Yeah.
Right, so we're allowing 2 wishes and you can reanimate people. One person, not a fucking. You can't come with an army of the dead.
No, you can't limit it to 1 person.
Now you're not bringing. Okay, 1 event or 1 person. You're not going to.
Civilization.
No.
Does that count as a wish, or is that an extra bonus?
Okay. Wait. So if I wanted to resurrect Atlantis,
You're not bringing back the entire Third Reich.
No, I want to resurrect Atlantis.
You're not doing that.
So your first wish is to make Atlantis real, and your second wish is to then bring it back.
Sure. Like with all with everyone that ever lived in it. Okay, what's wrong with that?
I'd say an event, not a civilization. Like if you wanted to bring back everybody on the Titanic, fine. But if you wanted to bring back everybody from, like, say, World War II, no.
All right. Okay. Well, that significantly lessens the power of the genie, but I can dial it down a little.
Skeptic, hi. Thank you for joining.
Hi, hello. Apparently, we're talking about genies.
Yeah, that's the topic. You see, that's what we've landed on. We're discussing rules for limitations on the power of the genie. I think everybody should get 2 wishes. We haven't slammed the rules down yet. You've not missed much. But so far... Shut the fuck up a minute.
1.
I've put down 2 wishes, not 3. And a moderately concerned guy, who is Willie, wants to be able to reanimate the dead. And we're discussing now on the limitations of that. I put forth 1 person or 1 event. And Willie wants to totally reenact or bring back the entire Third Reich and take over the world again. And he can't do that.
That is, yeah, God, I hate you all.
Get it.
Is there a reason why you chose just 2 wishes?
It makes it more... I think it makes your mind focus more. Because if you had 1, you'd piss it away. If you had 3, sorry, you'd piss it away.
Mm. It kind of makes sense. Yeah.
That's my argument for it. As I say, we're still discussing the rules at the moment. So...
Yeah, I'm not sure there would be that much of a practical difference. If someone is willing to piss away their wishes at 3 wishes, because after you make the first wish, then you only have 2 wishes, and that doesn't make your decision making better. So I don't think just giving them 2 wishes would make it better. If giving them 3 wishes and then they get rid of the first one and then they don't sober up by the second wish, then they won't sober up by the second wish to begin with.
I love how you use that. Have you looked around my panel? We've got fucking Wildheart and we've got Willie Pisshead, you know? They're definitely throwing their 3rd wish away.
Oh no, I think we should just have 1.
Oh, now we're down to 1. Now we're just 1.
Yeah, because that way nobody throws it away.
Sorry, Space Cadet.
Does the, like, you make the first wish, does the second wish, is the second wish in, like, the environment of the first wish?
It depends on the first wish. It's chronological.
Ah.
You can add on to the first wish, to the results.
I mean, if it, okay, all right.
Okay, and just to point out, no wishing for more wishes.
Goes without saying.
Spooky.
Can
Are
I
you
wish?
gonna be like? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, can I wish for the ability to wish for more wishes?
No.
No, you can.
Sneaky.
Can I wish for another genie bottle?
See, that's
No!
not 1 wish. See, just 1
2
wish.
wishes. That's it. 2 wishes.
Can I wish for a genie that can give me unlimited wishes?
No. That's Return of Jafar. We're just going to put you in the bottle.
I'm just saying, I'm gonna find a loophole to this, one way or the other.
No, you're only getting 2.
Yeah, if I can't reanimate Atlantis, then you can't have infinite wishes. Sorry.
No.
Can I wish to change the definition of the word "to"?
Right, we're going to kick you and you're only fucking here. Any thoughts or input, Rage? Would you like to put a rule forth or something that may help with your wishes?
No, I'm good. I've already got my 2 lined up. So.
Oh, you... Oh, right. There we go. Right, he's just waiting for us to set the rules. So we're happy to go with 2 wishes. We can reanimate the dead.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm happy to go with 2. I'm just being argumentative for the sake of being argumentative.
I would say the ability to reanimate the dead would make me want to have that 3rd wish to, Tupac's got to come back. But,
So wait, is it reanimation or is it like revival? Are the dead going to be like zombies or are they going to be exactly like they were when they were alive?
yeah, they need to be able to rap. you know, so.
Well, it depends. I think Willie would want his reanimated people to be zombies, where other people would
Yeah, I
like
think
them
so,
to function in society.
Yeah,
I
but they
think
smell
Will-
bad.
I think Willie would wanted Willie to be reanimated. I think that's what Willie would want.
Yeah.
No, I do not want to be combined into an entity with Wildheart. That would be my idea of hell.
Why not the beast with two backs? Come on, think it over.
Right, so no other input. We're happy enough with that. We can hash out
Yeah,
the rest.
just genies.
Right. Well, Raid, seeing as you're definitely, you know what your two are, would you like to lay them upon us? What's your first wish?
All right, so wish number one: everybody that has $1 billion or more in their bank account wakes up with $1.
Get in, I like that.
And the money just vanishes.
Yeah, it's gone. They, you know, I considered like taking their businesses along with that, but you know, that would be like 2 wishes, right? So, yeah, they just have to start over, but they got to be broke.
Just taking all their money.
Yeah. And wish number 2 is for every poor person in the world to wake up with $1 billion in their account. So whatever's poor in your country, here in America it would be like what, you know, under $30,000 a year, or you know, so poor people wake up with $1 billion, billionaires wake up with nothing.
That's cool. In 2 years, the rich would be rich again, and the poor would be poor again.
It would be an interesting experiment.
We
It
could
would be
just
interesting.
go. We could just go to the banks and ask for 45 million when our property's worth 750,000. You know.
Yeah, because I mean, in my thinking, you know, if you give the poor people the money, then they can then just go buy the businesses that the billionaires no longer can afford to own. So it should be a relatively smooth swap.
So nothing for yourself whatsoever.
Well, I'm definitely one of those poor folk.
Right, so along with you and everyone else, you're going to get money, and that's it.
Yeah.
You're going for the I'm super left wing, love the world,
Well,
good
I-
person.
I want to show. I want people to live the exact life of what they've lived, right? So it wouldn't affect the people in the middle, but I only got 2 wishes.
But that's it. That's your 2 wishes, definitely.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That
Yep, that's my 2 wishes.
Right. Very simplistic, and I think that's the right answer. You know what people should say.
I thought about going with like, you know, getting rid of capitalism, installing socialism, but I'm like, that's complicated. I would like the chaos that would ensue from making poor people the powerful and the powerful the non-powerful. I would love to see that happen.
But would you not? I don't know. I think you're
That's
wasting.
very revealing.
I think you're wasting your wishes. I think you're just saying, you know, political stances in a way that you know.
Let him do it, bro. Let him do it. It's his
No, I'm
vision.
supposed to
You can't stop
criticize him. That's what the fucking argument's just gonna get going. Shut up.
him. You're gonna start a political argument, man.
No, it would definitely, like, I'm doing it as a thought, it's something that I thought about often, like what would happen if those 2 scenarios were flipped, and how would society rebound from that? Like if you just woke up one day and all the poor people all of a sudden were all of the richest people in the world, and all of the richest people in the world were all of a sudden the poorest people in the world. How fucked up would the world get, or would it advance? I would be very interested to see
But
that.
to
Would
take
you
that-
educate the poor with? I mean, would you want them to be educated to handle their money?
I think that the poor people would be a lot more generous and with their money, and that the rich people would actually be pretty good, well off. That's what I think.
So
you know,
I have a
taking.
question.
Go for it. Go on ahead, skeptic.
How the way the swap is described, how do you know you won't get the exact same situation that we have now? If we put the poor people in place basically in place of the rich people, how do you know they're not going to make the same decisions that the rich did? How do you know it's not just going to be like changing who is the rich rather than changing the nature of being?
Well, I don't, and I think that that's probably a good likelihood of happening. That would be the whole reason of it. Like, I would like to be able to observe what happened, you know, so yeah, it would be interesting to see if they just did the same things and made the same mistakes and acted the same way and let it go to their head. I think that there's plenty of indication that that would probably happen from what we see of poor people that get rich, right? But maybe, I don't know, maybe it would be chaos, maybe it would be anarchy. Who knows? Like, who knows what would happen if that actually were to transpire?
Okay, fair enough.
I think a lot of them would squander it.
I think a lot of people would squander it.
Yeah.
Um,
And the
I
rich.
think most of them probably would, because when you're poor, you don't really know how to handle money, right? Like I'll admit that about myself. I don't really know how to handle money. I've never really had a lot of money to handle, so you know.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought. As I say, I think most of them would squander it. Most of them would just go out and create a mess and fast cars and.
Yeah. Well, I think ultimately, hopefully, the thought experiment would prove that what we need to get beyond this monetary system and just be human together.
Rage,
you know?
what's the name of the rapper that just had that big fucking jewel dug out of his head because he had it put there? He got robbed at, I guess, a gas station.
Yeah, I don't know his name, but I read about it. It was like a
Yeah,
$10
you
million jewel or some shit.
In his
Yeah,
head.
you give stupid people money and they do stupid things with it.
He
That's
put a £2 million gem in his head.
Yup.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Okay.
To be honest, I'm surprised no one's already done that.
Can I just disagree with that statement? I've always been poor, then I got £6,000, and I spent it all on hookers and beer.
There you go.
I disagree with the statement that stupid people spend their money.
You,
You definitely changed your life for the better, didn't you? With that.
thank God someone gave you that money or something.
Yeah, hookers and beer. What do you want?
I mean, you don't want a yeast infection in your mouth. You don't want that.
No.
Yeah.
No. Or oil in your hair. Definitely wouldn't want oil in your hair.
You
No. Right, Willie. What about you? Big Willie Pisshat. Have you got some wishes for us? And they broke the internet.
A grizzly bear came along, and him and his family had to run.
Unlucky. Unlucky. Oh, perhaps that's
Unlucky
them.
for the grizzly bear.
You went to your underground bunker, didn't you?
I'm
wa-
already in it. Why would I need to go there?
Right, Big Willie. What's your 2 wishes?
Okay. I think I'd like to reverse all the damage done by pollution. Like just remove it.
Bullshit.
Lies.
What?
Nobody here believes you.
Okay. And all right, fine. Forget that. Zombie Hitler then. If that's,
Zombie-
that's what you want to hear. You want me to say Zombie Hitler? I don't
Okay, be honest then, right? Is the truth somewhere between zombie Hitler and
No.
No, I think he's being genuine. Like you want it all to go back and
Yes.
like old time
Tribal.
days and shit.
Tribal.
Yeah.
I think he just threw out one wish to be the politically correct one, and then the other wish is going to be wild.
Well, I've only
That's
got one more
off the
wish,
low
and it
first.
is about wild.
Hitler's coming back, right? Yeah,
No,
come on.
I want Wild's face to be added. Actually, I want Wild himself to be added to Mount Rushmore, but to be totally conscious forever and be able to sing karaoke loudly across
Man,
the plains
I-
forever,
now-
for all times.
I think you're intentionally trying to piss me off.
I think that is everybody would leave America. All right, Trump's been in
That's what I'm
charge,
talking
fascism's
about.
appeared, but everybody will leave if you make Mount Rushmore karaoke night 24/7, and the only person can sing
But
is
look,
I
Wild.
think
Real
they would
estate that opens
sooner
up.
tear down the entire monument. Just for that.
Well, you couldn't tear it down. That's the whole point. It's permanent. It's forever. He is Mount Rushmore.
They would tear down the entirety of Mount Rushmore just to get rid
Yeah,
of
they'd
it.
nuke that shit. You're right.
Exactly.
It'd just be his little singing face is all that's left.
Mount Rushmore is an abomination and should
But
be
no-
destroyed.
But no, actually, I wouldn't do that with because that's horrible. But that's worse than Zombie Hitler. But I would remove all forms of currency.
So
I'd
we're
make
back to the
everyone start
barter
over.
system, or you're getting rid of money?
Getting rid of all fiat currency, all just everything that's paper, everything. You know, it real value only.
Fiat are a great car company. Why are you getting rid of them?
Okay, they're decent. I'm not gonna say they're great. Let's not blow smoke up their asses.
If you do that, what's to stop people from just printing more money?
Who cares? I mean, once they can begin, but do you know how long it'll take for them to redistribute it all out and to justify what the value system is they're basing it on? Right now, you can't get anyone to tell you what the money's based on. Not an honest answer. So at least if you took it all away, they'd have to start over and be honest about what they're basing the money on.
I don't know. I feel like if the money, well, I'm not formally educated on finance, so I could be completely wrong about this. I don't know anything about economics, but my understanding would be, I feel like they could replace all the money that's gone. Even if they couldn't replace it physically, they could just replace it electronically.
I mean, but again, what is it based on?
Does it really matter? I feel like
That's the point. That is the point, skeptic, right there. You say, does it really matter? Because it's my wish, I think it does matter what we assign value to and whether it has intrinsic value. So that's why I would do it, to make people think about it.
And that's my point is, would that be effective at making them think that? Or would they think, oh, well, we'll just use electronic money?
I mean, if that would at least be a way, like a litmus test of how stupid people are.
Okay.
Maybe we go to like soda cap bottles, like Fallout.
Maybe
like
food or
bottle caps
things
or some
that
shit.
actually have use, like barter. I'm done.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it would work.
Giving all the money to the poor and giving all the.
Well, I just want to see the chaos. Like taking the money away. I think humans would just create something else to be currency.
Okay, well, very good.
Exactly.
So it's really no more or less effective than what you're doing. It's an experiment.
Yeah, it'd be
So you can judge it if you want, but you're judging yourself when you do it.
I'm not judging. I'm just saying I don't think it would work. I think we'd just find something else. We'd replace it with something else.
Well, that's why the first wish was something that was effective, which was just remove all the pollution.
Maybe it wouldn't be the shiny now. Maybe we've evolved a bit. It wouldn't be the shiny now, like gold or whatever. Maybe we'd actually put stock in something useful.
I'd hope.
So that's your
I'd love
two
to make
wishes.
guns and ammo the currency of America. That would be great.
Oh yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God, don't get me started.
Might
Show you my
versus.
new judge.
You're trying to pick a fight.
Welcome, Heretic.
I liked your first one. Your first one was good.
Heretic, you fucking legend.
Heretic, just to, the only real rules that we confirmed on the genies is that there is 2 rules, and you can reanimate one person or one event, not an entire civilization.
Can't wish for more wishes.
And you can't wish for more wishes. Well, that's self-evident. Although skeptics determined to fucking find a loophole.
Yeah,
So who has said what so far?
Rage went full-blown left liberal, and he's taken all the money away from the rich in his first wish, and in his second wish, he's given all the money to the poor.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am a socialist. So.
Would you like to have a turn, Heretic, or do you want to sit back and wait?
Is that the only one that's been so far?
Oh, well, Willie just finished up. Willie wanted to get rid of all
He reset
currency.
the earth.
Yeah.
He reset the earth and it made the like all the toxins go away, which I thought was pretty cool. And then he took away money, which is kind of left of you. So, but he is a libertarian, so it doesn't surprise me.
Okay.
Skeptic, your
So-
phone is
so-
vibrating like mad over the mic.
Oh, sorry.
Right. Then in that case, if you're wanting something, I have something.
Is it chlamydia?
I was wondering
I can confirm.
William.
It burns.
Yeah, don't tell everybody.
pubic lights. Sorry.
I would ban safe space, the term and the concept.
Get in.
Ooh.
Toughen some fuckers up. I like
So
it.
no safe spaces allowed, or we just have got rid of the term? Well,
Both.
said both.
Both
Both.
of them, yeah.
Both.
Yeah, you
Yes,
answered it.
it was both. Because the only way to advance is to allow unsafe spaces, to allow speech, to allow diversity and opinions to reign, and the majority choose the best one that they want, but somebody's still allowed to have their opinion.
People are allowed to have their opinion, but you know, you're
And
taking
voice it.
and voice.
it. That's the point about safe spaces.
So it's okay to go into an airport and shout bomb.
Yeah, it's only a theatre where you're not allowed to do that.
No, I'm asking. That's you know we're.
No, there are always certain restrictions on stuff, but because they cause panic or harm. But when it comes to voicing an opinion, as opposed to shouting something out that is intended to cause mayhem, that's what I'm talking about.
Could you agree? Would you agree that someone's opinion may disagree with, say, you know, what has been proven to be actually true through science and experiments and things like that? We have proven X true. And then do you believe that this person is allowed to go around and scream and shout and try and promote the idea of the opposite, even though the world knows it's true? And
Absolutely.
Right. And you think that they're allowed to
Absolutely.
scream and shout about it, even though what they're doing is causing harm?
Why would it be causing harm?
Heretic, I'm going to kiss you full in the mouth.
Why would it be causing harm? Why would it be causing harm? Just because somebody says something stupid does not deny them the right.
No.
to
No, I
believe
didn't say that they're
stupidity.
them going out and, you know, but you promoting, say, for talk's sake, I'm going to be real basic, the idea that the earth is flat and going around and screaming and shouting about that
Yes.
there, right?
Absolutely allowed.
And
Absolutely 100% allowed in all
Well,
circumstances.
do
Isn't it
you
allowed
think it's
now?
Time.
you said
Yes.
right? Do you think it's? But what I'm saying to you is, do you think that being detrimental to someone's education and teaching them to not believe actually what can be proven to be true is not detrimental to them? It's not harm.
But everybody else would
have
argue
to
against
listen.
them that they were talking bullshit. I mean,
Don't have to
we
listen,
already have that.
MathPig.
We already have that, MathPig. We
But
have
no,
that
but
in.
you're-
We have. Hang on. We have that in particular cultish communities. We had that in communities where people are teaching their children really weird stuff, so they believe this stuff.
Mhm.
That is allowed.
In their culture. And I'm not
In
talking
all-
about.
and I'm saying it should be allowed in all cultures.
I'm not-
People are allowed to believe.
Well, hold on,
strange
Matt.
Hold on.
There's an
tell people
upside.
Strange stuff.
Right.
There's an upside because you can teach your little boy that he's actually a little girl and shit like that. and
We're
nobody
not
can
even
stop
going to
you.
go in that route. I'm talking to Heretic here. Hold on. I'm asking Heretic, do you think, could you define harm as teaching someone, you know, to not believe in science, to not believe what can be true, to believe the fanciest, loudest person in the room, being able to, you know, saying to take away all of this and not putting certain extra limitations, because you're fine with some limitations. You can't shout bomb in an airport, you know, because that causes panic and harm. But it's okay to teach children things that are not true. It's okay to raise your kids with a bad education because that person's
happens.
entitled to.
That happens in every.
I
religious
don't give a
society.
shit what happens. I'm
it
asking,
happens.
yeah, and we
That-
try
and-
to fight
and-
against
and-
that. Me personally, I would fight against that. What I'm asking is,
Which
do
is-
you
that's-
think it's
and
wrong?
That's what I would allow. I mean, but if you are
His
in an
wish.
Islamic country, you cannot fight against that. For example.
I don't give a shit
can't-
what's allowed. I'm asking your opinion. You still haven't answered.
No, I have. I've said yes.
You've said it should be allowed.
Yes.
Right, and do you not think that it's harm? That's the question I'm asking you.
No, not necessarily. That's not necessarily harm. People
You're very
grow up.
passionate.
I have an
People
example.
grow up, and they change their opinions on the basis of they end up in a wider society that actually teaches them, yeah, you were taught a load of bollocks by somebody who was speaking a load of bollocks. And they look at stuff, and we've all got the internet. However, if they never leave their community and their whole community believes that thing, it is safer for them within that community to believe it and to follow it. Otherwise, they could end up being kicked out of their community. You know, there are certain benefits to these types of things in certain circumstances. However, in the Western world, let's just use that term right now, liberal democracy, all the stuff we're being told about, lots of stuff, which is absolute lies and complete bullshit, but
That's your opinion.
It keeps everybody safe because the majority of people are thinking it and agreeing with it and whatever. It doesn't mean it's true.
I am of the opinion that teaching children, right, at a very young age, and I think the scholars and stuff and all the rest of it would agree with me, that what happens when you're a child doesn't kick into you about 21, 22 or whatever, right? And damage can be done. It's the way you set your mind up for thinking. And I am of the personal opinion that people should be given the best opportunity. And I don't care to a certain point if their parents think it's better to take them home and teach them at home that farming life is the only life. I think every child should be given the same opportunities. And whether that's forced upon some people that don't like it or not, that I don't give a shit about. Because in my opinion, it is harm to take away education from kids.
In my opinion, as soon as you use the term should, you're going into a moralistic stance rather than a principled stance of freedom of speech, freedom of belief, freedom of expression. Anybody can say anything to somebody else. It is up to the somebody else to determine whether they believe it or not. Yes, a child is unable to determine the difference, and they will believe what their parent tells them or what somebody in power tells them. But as soon as somebody else goes against that, they're in a bit of a quandary. Who do they believe? Do they start shouting, no, you're wrong, Santa Claus does exist? Or do they start thinking? And as people grow up, they start thinking usually.
Go on ahead, Wildheart.
Love you much. I've got to leave, that's all. I'll see you later.
You come back?
Yeah, I might be back later. I might be. Cheers. Thanks everyone.
Tell her I said hi.
Love you, like oh, and thanks to your friend as well. Again.
Yeah, no bother.
Well, I mean, so right now in secular society, we pretty much allow all of that, right? Like, so we allow, like, you know, the only time, you know, here in America, like, we're gonna go in on a cult is that they're part of that cult is like, you know, child sex and shit, like the family and other cults that I've covered. Usually, you know, we let people be who they are. When you talk about safe spaces, you're talking about, like, you know, the taking away of language, and usually that comes down to like bigotries and slurs and things like that. So, like, I guess my question would be, what do you mean by safe spaces?
Spaces where people are told you're not allowed to say something that that will, in quotes, offend somebody else in terms of your opinion.
All right, so exactly, that's what I thought. So when you're talking that, like, we have that right now, but what we also have right now is this element of people that are compassionate enough to respond to those opinions, right? So yeah, you have the right to speak your opinion. But I also have the right to say that your opinion is either bigoted or just straight fucking stupid.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. Yes.
But
yes.
so
yes.
when people talk about safe spaces, though, they don't want that pushback, right? That's what a safe space is you don't get that pushback.
Yeah, they do not want the alternative opinion, and they do not want somebody saying that they disagree with them, and they don't. So they ultimately, don't, they don't want to be. Hang on, they don't want to be put in a position where they feel in some way uncomfortable. That's what a safe space is, where people are not put in a position where they feel
pussies hide.
So no. So what I'm saying though is you're pretty much wishing for people to have the ability to just be bigoted, unfettered, for like society not to have advanced to where we have.
Hang on. when we come to these communities, none of these discussions are safe spaces. And we don't necessarily go down a route of bigoted. We don't necessarily go down a route of hate. We don't necessarily go down a route of threats. What we do is we debate and we discuss different opinions in an adult manner where everyone is allowed a different opinion and is able to give it. Things can get heated, they can, and whatever. But it usually, unless somebody is particularly, for want of a better term, feminine, then the discussion is the discussion at the time, and it is how somebody is, and it's different opinions, and it's diversity, and it's accepted. Even if you completely disagree with them, like
This is still
Black
your
Earth.
first wish.
It's,
What
and
if
we're still in my first wish, yes.
Jesus Christ.
What
I
if their
know,
opinion-
I've opened a real can of worms.
But like, so wouldn't it be legitimate though if their opinion is I don't want to hear this, so I don't want to be a part of this, and that perfectly acceptable for their opinion to be valid as well?
And it's perfectly acceptable for them to walk out. So
What I'm trying to hammer home is, like this is just safe space. That's just like right-wing terminology. It doesn't really exist. Like,
No, it does.
No, that's
have
not
these
right-wing
conversations all the
terminology.
time.
Right,
That is
hold
not
on.
right-wing
Now everybody's
It's
just talking
left-wing
over.
terminology.
Now everybody's just talking over each other. Heretic, you have spoke an awful lot. We lost space because she didn't get a chance to say her bit. Right? Question that
but
came
you're
from
gonna
the
blame it on
chat.
Heretic.
Question, shut your mouth. Question from the chat. Could you consider your own home a safe space?
Could you consider what?
Your own home a safe space.
If you make it safe.
If you're there on your own, yes.
Getting
So
rid of all
you're-
safe spaces.
If you're at home on your own, then it's a safe space. As soon as there is another human being there who has the potential to possibly disagree with you, it's no longer a safe space.
So they can
you're
walk in if
married,
they
you
want
should
and
know
disagree
that.
with you. They
Sorry,
could
I
walk
only
in.
heard Will then.
They could walk into your house and disagree with you.
Well, you invite people in.
Family.
But, like that happens
You've got
now.
family, yeah.
I don't get how that's being suppressed now.
I didn't say that was.
Yeah,
But
bringing
some
it
people
inside,
might
that was
suppress it.
MathPig.
Hmm?
I said bringing it in, making it about being inside the home and calling that a safe space. That came from you. What
Yes, I asked it
Heretic
because
seems to be
Jay asked
talking
it in the
about is what Heretic seems to be talking about is zones where you cannot speak freely because your words might hurt someone's fifis.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I would be of the opinion that
Where are those zones?
people do get
College.
very offended over certain things, and they should just shut up and whinge up a wee bit. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not full blown. You can't say this, that, and the other. But the idea of taking it to the extreme and saying that certain people being able to say certain things should be given the same ability and rights as something else, in my opinion, no.
So what is not permitted? What speech is to be prohibited?
Well, it's not even speech; it's stupid ideas as well, man.
So
Hate
it's still
speech.
coming
Hate-
out of it's still speech.
Hate speech should be prohibited.
What is hate speech?
Speech that promotes hatred against another group of people.
Like when you talk shit about Republicans.
Yeah, I mean, if it's hate speech, if I'm telling people to
Well,
go and
clearly-
abuse Republicans, yeah, sure.
It's clearly you
Do I tell people to go and abuse Republicans in any way?
Well, you don't like them and you say hurtful things about them.
So you are abusing them. Is that right?
Yeah, you're hurting their fifis.
That's not hate speech.
Why?
So what is hate speech? Because that's the definition that sort of came across then. What do you define as hate speech? Will
How
asked
did
what
how
something-
did that come across? How did that come across as that?
Before,
Because the way
before
you answered it.
Like, so-
the way
so-
you
no,
answered
hold
it-
on.
What if you don't know what hate speech is? I think it's your problem, not mine.
Well,
you know?
if you want us to not do it, you have to tell us what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to go around saying the N-word, right?
What do you
If
mean?
somebody wants
You
to
mean
go
nigger?
around saying
Yeah,
the
people should.
N-word,
Yeah, people should
If
just be
somebody
able to go
wants to-
around and be racist as fuck, and it's cool. That's
Deal with
your.
it. Just deal with it.
I'll put it this way. Raging Atheist. There are a hell of a lot of people who are racist.
Yeah,
And
I confront
the
them
fact
almost
is-
every day.
The fact is, I would
Did you
prefer
say
to
no?
know who they
Alright.
are, rather than
Sure, I agree. with you.
know that they know how to get round the world and not show their racism while being racist.
Huh?
I'd prefer to know who the fuck they are. And I
It's
can then keep away
Usually
from
pretty
them.
easy to find out. Just
No,
talk to
it's
somebody
not.
long enough.
Skeptic has a question.
Yeah, I've kind of
It didn't take me too long with y'all, so.
Yeah, I've been kind of waiting to jump in the Shark Tank for a while. So my understanding is I am pro free speech, and I do believe that people should have the right to express their opinions in most circumstances. However, I don't know if we can have a functional society where there are absolutely no safe spaces. So for me, it depends. If you're saying there should be no public safe spaces, that might be something I'm more willing to agree. But I do believe people should have the right to create their own safe spaces. If a bunch of people want to meet on a Thursday in a library, they should be allowed to do that, and someone should not be allowed to jump in and interrupt.
A public
The only way
library?
that we can have these kinds of functional conversations that we're trying to have now on this live stream is because we don't have random people popping in and popping out, coming in, changing the subject, talking about different things. We have to have some level of rules
A
in order
public
for the
library?
conversations to work. So my understanding is that there are some spaces that are allowed to be safe as long as they are not public. So my house is allowed to be a safe space, and no one is allowed to come into my house and express opinions I don't like, and I have every right to kick them out. Whether that's a good thing or not is separate. That's something I have the right to do. So I'm not necessarily appealing to whether safe spaces are good or not. I'm saying that I think people should have the right to create those spaces if they want to. I don't think those spaces should encompass public spaces and should prevent people from going in the general public and expressing their opinion. But if people have their own little group, their own little house, their own little space that they want safe, I don't see a justifiable reason to take that away from them.
I would
I-
back you up on that. I would back you up on that.
I totally agree. Like I am for freedom of speech too. I live in the mud. I have these conversations. I have these race conversations. I'm not afraid. But see, the problem is, when people right now have this freedom that they can be bigoted, they can be whatever they want. They can literally voice whatever they want, unless they're saying bomb in a theater or something like that. We don't really regulate speech. We regulate hate crimes, but we don't regulate hate speech. What's happening in society is we are combating hate speech, and we should make these people feel like shit for their hate speech. That's the point of it.
Yeah,
but
you can't
they
punish
have.
them for it.
We don't punish them. We don't punish them.
Yeah,
How do
so
we
just-
punish
yeah,
definition
you
of
can call
hate
them names,
speech?
they call you names back, and that's just the way life is. So big deal.
Yeah,
Your
you
definition of hate speech
out their
runs too far.
bigotries. It is my opinion you're morally responsible to call out bigotry.
Yeah, but
if
nobody's
somebody's
gonna
espousing
care.
it publicly, well, maybe not, but you're doing your duty.
Yeah, well, you know, that's cool. You virtue signal.
Well,
that's
and
cool.
obviously people care because you guys are so worried about the advent of people caring enough to combat this shit, because you want to have completely safe zones where it's perfectly fine to say this shit.
I don't think that anyone here is arguing for safe space.
If I can just say hello to Messenger Reveals in the chat. You
Well,
said his name a
ultimately,
couple of
he is
times.
arguing for it.
You must have woken
strength
out.
and honor, Richard.
I'd like to pick up Skeptic's bit. Hello, Richard. I'd like to pick up Skeptic's bit. I completely agree with you. Somebody in their own house has the right to kick somebody out. That's part of general life. But the idea that they can demand their home to be a safe space, if their kid comes home and argues with them, yes, they've got the right to kick them out. But if that kid's only 12 years old and just keeps arguing something, what they're going to do? They might kick them up to their bedroom and go, "That's it, you're not having any tea tonight."
Child abuse.
Or you're on the naughty step.
you-
I mean,
You've
that
never
happens.
seen a family kick a person out over a
Not
younger
at the age of
age,
12. Not
at a
the age of
young
12,
age,
A
at a
12-year-old?
because they
Not at the-
disagree with
Not
them.
at the age of 12.
No?
Get right out
Well,
of town.
No,
Well,
not at the age of 12.
if I could just basically respond to that, kicking someone out is one way of handling it, but another analogy is you can't, like, for example, a family can't have a functional dinner if the child keeps screaming curse words. At some point, there has to be some reasonable limitation where it's not a matter of having an opinion, but it's a matter of maintaining order. So if they want to come in and argue, they can do that. They just can't do that at Grandma Richie's funeral. That's not the time or the place. So there are circumstances. That's all I'm saying is I don't believe in getting rid of any and all safe spaces. I believe that people have the right to create some safe spaces, but I don't think those safe spaces should always be public spaces. Public spaces, I think, should be places where people are free to express their ideas and go back and forth.
Okay, but you mentioned a funeral.
You have that scenario with the 12-year-old. You should be able to say, okay, we're not having this conversation right now. It's like 8:30. We have things to do. You have to go to bed. And I think that is okay. I don't think they have to argue with the 8-year-old.
What makes the funeral somehow a safe space? Because like the eulogy is people talking about the deceased. What if that family member is someone that like I never got to tell them how much I fucking hated them while they were alive? So I'm gonna stand up there and be like, yeah, well, I'm gonna pay my respects by telling you to go fuck yourself. You were a piece of shit and all that.
Yeah,
Should I be?
It's not really respectful, then, is it?
Well, that's not what it's about, though, is it? It's about me being able to do it.
Funerals, in my opinion, are a waste of time. Funerals and shit like that are for the living. They're not for the dead.
I would also argue that that is not constructive, because I'm more so trying to establish constructive environments, and I don't think you can have a functional funeral that is in any way productive if there are no rules for anyone to follow in terms of what they can say and not say. And if everyone starts screaming, just like in this panel, everyone can start yelling and screaming at each other. You can do that, but it won't be functional. It won't be productive. We won't achieve anything if we don't stop and listen and have an order in which one person talks, everyone listens, another person talks and everyone listens. And that's basically my reasoning, is we need to have some degree of rules to maintain some degree of order. And I'm not saying like if someone does that in a funeral home that they should go to jail, but the people in the funeral should be able to say, we as a collective do not want you to do that, so we are going to kick you out. You can still do that out on the street in that public space, but in this private space, we have decided to make it a safe space for this reason, and I don't think that ability should be taken away from those people, is what I'm saying.
What you said,
you do that in a funeral, it's not going to be a safe space for you. Like you do that at my family's funeral, you're going to get your ass kicked.
The difference is private or public. So I'm with you all the way. If it's private, then yes, you can make the rules for that environment. If it's public, then fuck off, because anyway, everybody can talk.
And that's all I'm saying. I agree with that.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I go to a funeral, and you know, like hearing all the religious shit.
After you knock, I want Leo to have a go.
I'm thinking like bullshit, but I would never say that, because that would totally be the dick move in that situation, right? Like you just sit there and you bear it, you know, and you be respectful.
Yeah. Okay, Leo's turn. Actually, wait, what about Heretic didn't even do his second one?
Heretic said like 3 rounds. I'm giving Leo a go.
Yeah, I don't really know where we're at in the discussion. It seems to be jumping all over the place, so I'm not really sure what to say.
Oh, we're doing wishes.
We were doing wishes. I've changed the title now to Our Safe Space is Safe.
Oh, God.
It was a hell of a first wish that...
Well, it depends on what you mean by safe space, I think.
Well, the wish came from Heretic.
Exactly.
Could you do a real quick synopsis of what a safe space is to you, Heretic, for the benefit of Leo and Richard?
No, I've clearly been ranting too many times, MathPig.
Oh, are you offended
by arguing against it?
Are you offended by what I said? Did I hurt your fifis?
Did
I hurt your fifis?
I was taking the piss.
Of course, I know.
So Heretic was just being normal.
I was being normal, yes. The synopsis is that my wish is that safe spaces should be removed, both in concept and in
but what do you mean by that?
Reality.
What do you mean when you say safe?
And that's where this discussion has gone. And I think it's a really interesting discussion, because I think there are some good issues that have come up, which include things like funerals, things like shouting bomb in a movie theater or in an airport, things like hate speech, where you've got to define what is hate speech, and I think that has to be defined very, very high.
Yeah, but you haven't defined safe space yet. You keep using that term.
I did define it, and it was around.
Well, I don't think I was.
It was
here.
around.
Okay,
Okay, Leo, calm down. Calm down.
I
I'll
am
answer it. I'll answer it. I'll answer it. I'll answer it. A safe space is a place where you're unable to use your free speech.
Yeah, that's not what I.
Right of free speech.
Where are you pulling this definition from?
Yeah, you
I just
asked
told
him.
you it.
You just
I
asked
just
him
told
what his
you it.
definition was.
Yeah, that's
what the
just
fuck
not what
is
I
it?
understand, or anybody that I
But it
know
was his
understands. what
wish.
you mean.
It was his
so
wish.
now
He's
what I'm
defining it.
wondering is where he's pulling that definition from.
Because
I
he's making a
just
wish.
told you it.
God damn it.
Well, you didn't tell me.
Willie.
And if you did, then
I
we're being
did
over talked.
previously,
I didn't
actually.
hear you.
I did. And you probably didn't hear me because you kept.
No, because I wasn't here. I wasn't watching the stream. I was listening for like 5 minutes before I
But
joined.
also, while I was actually speaking, you were speaking over me when you would ask me a question.
Okay, really short.
You didn't answer the question.
Okay, I think what Heretic is trying to say is a safe space is somewhere that you are free to say anything you want,
Well, no, I heard his
except for the
definition. I'm asking
caveats
where
that he
pulled it
added.
from. I heard his definition. Now I'm asking where he got it from, because that's not what I or anybody that I know
Well,
understands safe space.
Yeah,
could you clarify
wondering
then?
where he got
Could
that
I hear your
You
definition?
clarify it.
I think he's
Well, I
getting
don't
it
know why,
backwards.
well, I don't know why my definition matters. I'm asking him about where he got his.
Okay. I just told you, this is my definition.
Yeah, but
It
where did
doesn't
you get
matter.
it?
It doesn't matter where I got it from.
So you're not interested in a discussion, then that's fine. I'll mute back up.
Oh, okay, Leo. You asked me for a definition. I give you it, and then you
Yeah,
demand
the
to know
definition doesn't
where
align
it's from.
What
It
I or
doesn't
anybody
matter
I know
where it's from.
understands the word
It
to
doesn't
mean.
matter
So I'm
where
just
it's
wondering where you got that definition from. I don't know what's so hard
It doesn't matter.
about that. It's
He,
not.
hold on. No, I'm stepping in. Heretic has got this definition that he has made up himself, which is the reason that I asked you
Why
what
can't
you
he
no,
just tell me
which is
that?
the which is the reason that I asked you your definition so that I can see
Well, but my
and
definition
the
doesn't matter.
audience can see where you stand relative to Heretic. He made his up.
But I'm not asking about where I stand. I'm asking about where he got his definition from.
But you're arguing against my definition.
I'm not making
because
an
you're
argument.
just
I'm
saying-
asking you
you're
questions.
you're just saying, well,
I'm
that's
not
a shit
making an
definition
argument.
then, isn't it?
He
I'm
said
not making an argument. I'm
Leo-
asking you questions.
Well,
he made it up.
well,
That's
yes.
his point.
Yes.
Hey Leo, I don't know why you're so triggered, but could you at least
I'm not
not
triggered.
talk over the? Could you at least not talk over the host of the channel?
I didn't think I was.
Sometimes, but it's grand. I know what Leo's like. We get on, it's fine. But the point is, Leo, Heretic has give you his definition, regardless of where he got it
I
from.
know.
Oh, nah, come on. There's not a book that he pulled it from. It's his personal opinion.
I didn't say there was.
You're demanding again, even though he's told you this, where
I'm
he
not
got it
demanding
from.
anything. I'm asking a question.
Over and over and over and over and over again, or
Yeah,
even
because
over the
it's not
top of
being
me,
answered.
which is very demanding seeming.
Well,
It has
well,
been
no, it's just it's not being answered.
It has
And
been.
what I get from that is that the person refusing to answer the question isn't actually interested in a meaningful discussion. They just want to hear themselves talk.
The question has been answered.
I
No,
know.
Why
I-
hasn't it been answered?
Can you tell me what my second question that I asked you was?
I don't know what your first question
Yeah,
was.
so
I
you
didn't
haven't
answer
actually
it
been
correctly.
listening, have you?
If I
So the first
didn't
question I
answer
asked
it
was
correctly,
what your definition was, and you answered that, and I've acknowledged that. The second question
Where did
that
I
I
get
asked
it from?
was, where did you get it from? And you haven't answered that yet. If you didn't get it from anywhere,
What?
you just say, that's my definition, that's fine, then just say that.
MathPig, would you like to tell him where I got it from?
It's his
'Cause
opinion.
You've
He
said
ma-
it. You've said it 3 times.
It's his
Say it again,
opinion. He
Matt.
made it up. It's his personal definition of a safe space. So I reiterate my
What does he
question.
need other
And now
people
hold
to
on, you
answer
won't
his
hear my
question?
question if you talk over me. Now I will reiterate my question that can you give the audience your definition so that we can see where the differences is? Or
Well, I'm not talking about my definition. So the definition you're
I
working
know you're
with is
not,
one
but
that
I'm asking
kind
you
of-
directly a question. Will you answer it or are you going to refuse to answer the
No,
question?
I'm not going to answer it because it's not relevant to what I'm asking about.
So what are you asking about then?
Well, I'm asking you about
Because
your
you're not
position.
making any sense.
Well, no, I'm
giving
just
you
asking,
answers.
I
I've
don't
given
know
you
how I
answers
could
to
not
both
make
questions.
sense. Yeah, no, you have. Well, MathPig answered your second question. You didn't. But I'll
No,
accept the
because
You
answer.
did. How do you think I got it?
just reject your definition. I just reject your definition. Why should I accept your definition of
You don't
safe
have
space?
to.
Okay.
That's the argument for why I should accept your definition.
You don't have to.
Okay, so I don't. So yeah, I guess the
But for the
discussion is sort of
conversation to
interactive.
move forward, and for the conversation to move forward in the reality that is Heretic's wish, we needed to know his definition. Whether we accept it or not, in the concept of the story and the conversation we were having, he could make his definition, and we needed clarification on it, because when he said that, we needed to know what he meant by his wish, what he wanted. His wish was get rid of all safe spaces. You can agree with his definition or not, but when Heretic says safe space, that's what they mean. So you can either accept their definition and realize that's what they mean when they say this, or you can argue with them and say you need to use a different word to make me happy. One of them's a dick move, the other moves the conversation forward.
And I think he's just, I think he just got his definition backwards, Leo. I think that his definition of a safe space is a spot where you can't just say anything, and he got it backwards.
Well, and I'm not like telling him he has to use some definition. All I'm telling him is that he defined the term. That's fine. Like, I'm not saying his definition is like bad or wrong. I'm just saying that it doesn't align with what I or anybody that I personally know.
Which nobody
understands
knows
that-
what it
that-
is.
that-
Nobody knows what that is
particular-
because you won't answer the question and
that
tell us what
particular
it
term
is.
to mean. And so, in virtue of that, all I asked him was, okay, so you gave me your definition. It's not what I understand it to mean. So do you have any reasons for why I should take your definition? And he just said, no, I don't have to give you reasons. And so their discussion ends there.
No, that's not.
I'm with
that's
Leo
not what
on
I
this.
said.
I think that Heretic is a big jerk, and I think you should boycott him. You should leave this chat in protest. That's what you should do. You should just stand your ground, Leo.
How
Okay, hang
dare
on,
you,
right,
Rick.
totally different thing
dare you.
along the same topic, starting afresh. Me and Leo have a conversation. Leo,
Sure.
would you mind
I
giving
want you
me
to cover something. Hang
would you
on.
mind giving me your
Really?
definition of a safe space, seeing the title of the stream is about safe spaces? What do you understand as a safe space, Leo?
A safe space is a place, a location where language that is directly or explicitly offensive to others is disallowed. A place where people can feel safe from the offense of the rest of the world, hence the term safe space.
Yeah, I
Like a
think he
place
was.
where people can't call black people the N-word, can't use like the R-word, where the usage of these words is discouraged or disallowed.
Thank
Usage
you.
of otherizing, demonizing, or otherwise ableist, bigoted language is just not allowed. That's a safe space.
And I think that that's Heretic's definition. He just got it backwards. It just came out backwards. Because
Well, it encompassed it. I think my definition encompassed it.
Well, I don't think so.
It's
Because you said it's a place where you can't have free speech. But I think limiting bigoted language isn't limiting free speech. Well, I suppose I should ask what it would depend on what heretic means by free speech. He might mean something different than me.
Well, I've already had some. There have been some conversations on here that have come up, and they were really interesting points where I think there would need to be some distinctions within there, and I mentioned them earlier on. Raging Atheist brought some up, Skeptic Skeleton brought some up, and MathPig brought some up. I am open to debate and discussion and to amending my position, and that's the point of these ideas around freedom of speech, is that you hear other people's points of view, you can consider it, and you can either reject their points of view, or you can accept some of them, or you can totally reject your own point of view. And so far, I'm in the I'll amend some aspects of this because it's a good idea to amend it. Whereas other aspects of it, like your definition, Leo, that's the exact and precise thing that I would reject. That particular safe space, your definition, mine encompasses.
Well, why would you reject it?
Why?
What are the reasons?
Because people are allowed to have their opinions, and if they disagree with something,
You can have opinions.
then
You just can't express bigoted freely.
if they disagree with it, they can say something.
Well, but that's just not a safe space then. A place where people are free to express even bigoted opinions just wouldn't fit under my definition
Well-
of safe space. So then you're just not addressing my definition.
And this is the point about your definition of bigoted. So
Well, I don't. I
let-
never gave a
let's.
definition of bigoted, so I don't know what you're talking about.
But that's the point. You basically said things like people are not allowed to say the N word or the R word. I think I know what the N word is. I don't know what the R word is. But
Retard.
You're not allowed to say that.
Well,
The
I am,
concept
because
of
I am
making a
technically
point.
retarded. So I do get to say that word. Just like I get to say the N word, I won't because YouTube doesn't like it. But I also get to say that word because I'm not like black, but I am mixed.
Oh, really?
Yes, really.
Oh, okay.
Oh, does that bother
Well-
you that I'm mixed? I hope not.
No.
His father
I'm
was a
mixed
lion.
as well.
His father was
The
a
point
lion.
is, I am mixed as well,
How is that so?
which is exactly why I
Mixed brothers
actually
unite.
reject. No, I am not your brother, and I am not
you're still
MathPig.
my
I'm not MathPig's brother either. I
You're
don't
still my
have
brother.
a community.
The messenger reveals has said he will donate £50 if I will kick Leo off the panel and give him his safe space. Doesn't say how long, Leo. She can come straight back, but you know.
Oh, I won't be on here for much longer because me and
Uh.
Amy Newman have a debate at the top of the next hour. So I'll only be here for about another 30-35 minutes.
Ask the
Could I
question
jump in
again.
real quick?
Go for it.
Can I just?
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I guess I wanted to jump in and because I know if I ask a question, this will never end. So
Ask
just
it.
my 2 cents are basically on what's been said so far. My understanding, and I expressed this. I think I expressed this right as you were coming in, Leo, is basically that people should have the right to create those based on your definition that you've said. I think people have the right to create those safe spaces privately. I do not agree that those safe spaces should be public or should encompass all public spaces. And the reasoning being that people cannot effectively, in my opinion, they cannot effectively grow and understand what is wrong about ideas if they don't hear what those ideas are. So if they don't hear the racism and the bigotry and the hate speech, then they won't understand why it's banned. They have to be able to hear it in full, understand it, and reject it and move on with their lives. A neutral party who is new to all conversations, controversial conversations, and they come into the conversation and one side is banned and the other side is not, they have no good reason to agree with that ban or disagree with that ban because they can't hear the other opinion. They can't hear the alternate perspective. So at the end of the day, I think for the growth of public conversations, it is better to have not safe spaces where people can express their ideas and speak freely and be rejected in that and be subject to criticism. And so people can see the idea being criticized, not just a space where people can say whatever they want without criticism, but where people can say whatever they want, including criticism. So you don't just have one person using hate speech and saying hateful things. You have that person saying that, and you have another person explaining why hate speech is bad, why these hateful words are not productive and should not be allowed. That is what I think is much more helpful to the general conversation. So I understand your definition. It's just in that definition, if that is what a safe space is, I think that should be allowed privately. I don't think that should be allowed publicly.
Yeah, but there are
I'm with you
places that
100%.
aren't public. There are places that aren't public that people can learn about these things, right? Like, imagine if I said people should be allowed to be nude in public, because how are people going to learn about the human body if they don't see it in public? Like, the argument that you're making, I could make with a number of things that all of us would probably accept are not themselves acceptable in public. So I don't understand why straightforward. Like, you're telling me that people should be able to walk into Walmart and just start calling black people the N-word, and Walmart shouldn't have the power to remove them? I just disagree with that fundamentally.
Walmart, I would consider Walmart is a private place. If
Well,
people
so what
want
about a
to-
public park? What about a public park? People should be able to walk up to a black family and harass them in a public park without any consequence?
In my opinion, I would say yes.
The concept
So
of
yeah,
without any
you're
consequence
saying
is
that it's
incorrect.
okay to have somebody walk up and just
Concept
start
of without
accosting
any
black family
consequence is
in a
where
public
you're
park.
wrong.
We just fundamentally disagree. I don't
Leo,
think that's a good thing. I don't think that's
You don't
conducive to
think-
society, and I think that that's a display of bigotry, not an education of how it's bad.
And I
I
think we
agree
have
with
plenty of
Leo.
history to show us what happens when unfettered bigotry and hatred is allowed.
What
And I think
happens
we've
when
got plenty of
unfettered
evidence.
restrictions are? What happens when unfettered restrictions are allowed? At what point do you draw the
But
line?
who's
that
advocated for
is
that?
Who's advocating for that?
That's
I didn't
exactly
say
where
somebody
we're at.
advocated for that. Nor
So
did
why
I
is
say
it
someone
relevant?
in this.
Well, I mean, what I'm talking about though, Richard, is like we've
There's a
seen throughout
reason for the
history.
Second Amendment. There's a reason
Sure,
we
but
have
nobody's
freedom of
disputing the
speech.
Second Amendment.
I mean, Leo, the problem with your argument was it was a
Sorry,
straw
First
man.
Amendment.
It was
whatever.
a straw man, Leo, because
What argument did I
there
straw
are
man?
consequences. You said
But
people
no, what
should
argument
be
did I straw
allowed.
man?
People should. You said people
He
should
likes
be
that
allowed.
word, Leo.
You should. People. You said people should be allowed to go and abuse somebody without consequences.
I didn't say that. That's not
You
at all
did.
what I said.
That's exactly what you said.
I didn't
with
say
no
people should be allowed to
consequences.
abuse. I didn't say that
No,
people
no.
should be allowed to abuse others
No.
without
Oh,
consequences.
hold on.
That was
Talking
what
over
you
each
said.
other.
You
Talking
can't
over
say
each
he
other
was
achieves
encouraged.
nothing.
That is what
Hold
I
on.
said
Talking
to
over each other
skeptics.
achieves
No.
nothing.
No,
Everybody
that's not what I
talking,
said.
still
Would you like
talking,
me to
still talking,
recapitulate what I said
still
since you appear to be
talking, still
misunderstanding?
talking. I
I
was
can
going to give you the
recapitulate what I
floor,
said.
but you keep talking. If you talk over each other, nobody can understand. Heretic disagrees with your saying. Leo wants to give clarification.
getting
Let
what I said
Leo
wrong.
give the clarification. Holy shit, man! I'm trying to give you the floor. Let Leo give you his clarification if he you misunderstood him. So Leo.
Yeah, he's saying that I said that it should be allowed for people to accost or harass others in public. No, that's not what I said. I said that Skeptic Skeleton said, and he did. He said,
That's
I asked
what
him
I
straightforwardly.
said.
Excuse me. I asked him straightforwardly, do you think that it should be allowed for people to go up to a black family in a public park and just start accosting them, calling them the N-word, lazy POSs,
Without
all this
consequence.
And he said yes, that should be allowed. And I just said nope, I just disagree with that.
And what I was saying was that was a straw man argument. The without
What
consequence.
argument did I
aspect-
straw man?
The without consequence bit that you said as part of that
Well,
statement.
but if there's
when you said
consequences,
it.
doesn't that imply
Leo,
it's not
will you
allowed?
let me actually explain what I'm saying, or are you just going to
Well,
keep fucking talking?
What you're saying makes no sense. but
Ah,
go
no,
ahead.
knock. Let Heretic finish his point. Leo, you had the floor for a bit.
When
Now it's Heretic.
Skeptic Skeleton never said anything about without consequence. Skeptic Skeleton's argument was there are consequences to people saying things. And that is the point about free speech. The point
Wait,
about free
no,
speech, the point about free speech is that people learn. You say this, someone's going to get hurt, or somebody might fucking hurt you. And that's the beauty of free speech. Somebody else will let you know when you have completely fucked up. And when you've fucked up, you'll get the shit kicked out of you. And that's how you learn. That's how you learn to sometimes you are a dick. Sometimes. And therefore, I shouldn't be a dick. I should fucking think about this a bit more before I say that shit. That's the point about free speech. You
Yeah, I don't know
find
what that
out
has
when
to
you're
do
a
with-
tosser.
with the discussion. It seems
That's
to me I don't know why you're
probably
bringing up
because that's
caveats.
probably
So you
because you're a
claimed-
bit
you
of a
claimed-
retard.
Leo's
claimed I
turn,
was
Leo's turn.
strawmanning. You claimed I was straw manning, yet you couldn't give the argument that I was straw manning and then the argument that was the straw man. So I'm just going to reject that claim. I don't think you understand
Yes,
what
he
straw man
did.
fallacy.
Yes, he did,
No,
and he
no,
did,
he didn't.
and it was
no,
a straw
no, he
man.
didn't.
And
No, he
I don't
didn't.
know how you can say that
He
with a
didn't.
straight
No, he didn't.
face.
No, he didn't.
Here
No,
was
he
the
didn't.
part that he
No,
said.
he didn't. No, he didn't.
Richard's
you
turn to
not forgetting
speak.
yourself
Richard would
up?
like to
No,
now
because
make
it's my fucking
Richard.
turn to talk.
Richard
So
would
you
like.
can be quiet.
No, I'm not going to
So
be
you
quiet.
can be quiet and you'll get your turn.
It's my channel. It's always my turn. If you scream over Richard and he's trying to put his point across that you disagree with, you will
But you
never.
told me it's my-
You will never. Yeah. Richard's trying to speak and put clarification across. It was your turn, then it was Heretics. You had your toe. Now it's Richard's.
All I was trying
I
to
didn't
say,
finish
Leo.
what I was saying. I didn't even get it out because I was interrupted.
all I said is that Heretic didn't outline which argument I strawmanned and what the argument that was the strawman was. Then Richard interrupted me rather rudely to say that he did, which he didn't. So I did not actually make my point.
How did I respond to something appropriately without you finishing the thought? You
By
frickin'
interrupting
idiot.
me when I was in the middle of speaking. Maybe
You'd
you
already
shouldn't
said
do
it
that.
twice.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. You interrupted me, and then
Now three times.
I engaged in a way that prevents you from interrupting
Leo,
me by
have
continuing
you
to
finished
do this
making your
over
point?
and over again.
Have you finished making
Yeah,
your
I will do that.
Right, okay,
So,
thank you.
I
Thank
don't-
you for
I don't
making... Right,
understand-
Richard, now it's your turn. He said he finished. Richard, it's not your turn.
Okay, so here was the straw man that Heretic
Really?
was
We're gonna
trying-
do this? Are we interested in discussions here or not?
Yes, we pointed out how people taking turns moves the conversation forward.
So I don't get to make my point then.
You
you
said you
argued
had
on
finished.
twice.
I directly asked
No,
you.
I did not. I said I did not finish.
Would you
like
add
twice.
something new to your original statement, please, now?
I was responding to Heretic with the first point. I didn't get to the second one because I was interrupted.
Cry a bit more.
Is it okay if we address your first point?
No, because I'm
Welcome
not
to the
speaking.
Leophilia
I was
show.
granted the time to speak.
Cry me a river.
I'm
The
taking
second
notes. I'm
point I was
waiting for
gonna
the
make is
second
I
thing.
don't know why Heretic was bringing up this notion of without consequence when neither I nor Skeptic mentioned that.
No,
See,
I can address that. I can address that. I can address that. I can address that.
Now, see, I'm still getting interrupted. I'm not.
Yes, because you said
you're
it didn't.
lying.
Yep, I'm
done.
now
So,
going
okay,
to
you
address
guys
that.
interrupt me, but when I do it, it's wrong. Okay,
Don't
understood.
lie then, dickhead.
I'm not lying. Lying implies intent. You are the one that said without consequence. I never mentioned that, so
And
you're
can-
strawmanning me.
And may I give clarification so we may move the conversation forward? I'm asking you for permission to speak on my channel, Leo. May I give clarification to help me?
Yeah, I don't know why you're doing that.
Why? Because when I try to talk, you just talk over the top of me. So, clarification is, Skeptic Skeleton made his statement. Your question was, is it okay for someone to walk up and harass the person? You asked it, he said yes. You then moved on and whatever and the rest. Heretic's point is that the fact that he agreed with Skeptics and can see that in Skeptics' world that would happen, but you didn't discuss the fact there would be consequences. The conversation
then
was
that
had.
implies
The
it's
conversation was had with the idea implied that there was no consequences from your response of what he said. What Heretic was trying to put forth to you was your misunderstanding.
I
of
understand this.
a
Can we
mis-
move to the next point, please?
So you do get that.
Can I clarify? Can I clarify, MathPig? Can I clarify?
Go on ahead, Heretic.
The only reason
Clarify
why,
after it's been clarified. Okay.
the only reason why I came in with that point, particularly the words with no consequences, is because you said them, Leah.
No, I didn't.
And that is on this channel recorded if anybody wishes
doubt
to
it.
go back 10 minutes.
No bother. Richard. Can I give Richard a turn now, Leo? Alright, has your point been addressed, Richard? Oh my goodness, Richard. Right.
I get sick of this. I get so sick of this. You can't remember what you said 3 minutes ago. I'm going to play it for you.
Right, hold
No,
on.
I know what
I
it
need to
said.
remove one
No,
person.
you don't
I just
know
like,
what you
I just
said.
like people. I do better than you ever could hope to because you don't
Can I
have
play
any
it for you,
access
Mr. You
to my
Remember?
mental content.
Can I
You
play
do-
you
oh, wait,
the
you have
recording,
access-
Mr.
you have
I
access.
Remember?
It's Richard's turn. We established it's Richard's turn. Richard would like, I apologize, Rage. I needed to get rid of somebody to put it on screen.
It's just in that definition, if that is what a safe space is, I think that should be allowed privately. I don't think that should be allowed publicly.
Yeah, but there are places
100%.
that aren't public. There are places that aren't public that people can learn about these things, right? Like, imagine if I said people should be allowed to be nude in public, because how are people going to learn about the human body if they don't see it in public? Like, the argument that you're making, I could make with a number of things that all of us would probably accept are not themselves acceptable in public. So I don't understand why straightforward. Like, you're telling me that people should be able to walk into Walmart and just start calling black people the N-word, and Walmart shouldn't have the power to remove them? I just disagree with that fundamentally.
Walmart, I would consider Walmart is a private place. If
Well,
people
so what
want
about a
to-
public park? What about a public park? People should be able to walk up to a black family and harass them in a public park without without any consequence?
See? Without any consequence. You did say that, which was a straw man of the position
he said yes,
of
right?
Skeptic Skeleton.
He said
you
yes,
did
right?
literally say
He
it.
said yes, right? He said yes, right? How come you stopped it there? How come you didn't play what his answer was? Jesus Christ! But I'm the one that's dishonest.
You dishonest piece of shit. I was the one that brought up that actually
I like
the
how I
without
get muted.
consequence
We're
is the
not
problem.
talking. Right, I'm gonna mute everybody. Everybody can mute. We're not talking. We're not going to be talking about what we talked about either. We can have a different conversation. I'm not going around in circles. People can all just agree to disagree. It's been a wonderful back and forth. Wonderful back and forth.
I don't think at all. We haven't even gotten anywhere. We're so caught up in the meta right now. It's not even funny.
That's because you've ruined it, Leo.
No, I haven't ruined anything. I'm not the one that brought up the video. I'm not the one that went back. I'm not the one that did all of this. But yeah, you go on about how it's my fault. Go on about how I'm the one that's been trying to get to the broader point. I'm the one that's been trying to keep the conversation moving. Yeah, I'm the problem here.
Yeah, Leo's a victim. Everyone should feel sorry for Leo right this very moment. And I think Leo, we should all.
When did I say I was a victim? What am I a victim of, Richard? Richard, what am I?
Everyone's ganging up on you.
Tell me what I'm a victim of. I don't think you can. I think you're just saying things. You're just.
It's not that you're talking over everyone, and you always do that every show you ever.
No, when did I say any dumb shit that's not relevant to anything that we're trying to talk about? You're the one taking this discussion to the
for the last hour since you've been in here, Leo.
It's fucking irritating.
You know, Leo, I came in the same time you did. I heard the same conversation you did. I didn't have any problems.
Yeah, because I'm trying to get. Yeah, I understand that you're dishonest and you don't want to point. And Richard is trying to, like, I don't know, like, conduce that. I'm actually trying to get to a point.
Hey,
I understand that you're not. I understand. Like, I heard in the 5 minutes before I came in
Leo,
that you are very much an intellectually dishonest person. I'm not talking about you, Richard.
Leo, I'm the guy that asked you to create safe words when, like, the whole group felt like you were being a little bit unreasonable. And you just laughed it off. But the truth of the matter is, man, sometimes you get a little excited and you go a little overboard.
In virtue of what? In what way?
This is the first time on this stream so far, from about 3 minutes into your arrival, where you were actually listening and not talking over people and misunderstanding what they were saying because you're jumping to conclusions. I'm trying to help you, man.
I'd like to ask the talker whether he was brought up with a dad. I'd like to ask the TikTok generation boy if he was brought up without a dad.
You're asking Leo.
That's very inappropriate. I think. I think that's very inappropriate.
Either, you know.
Well, I mean, it's around ways of thinking. It's around objectivity.
Yeah,
it's around.
That was just ignorant.
Understanding.
No, you made a dig. As much as he's been a dick and talked over people, all right, and mouthed at people for over talking and shit. You made a dig at his personal life. No, seriously, that was just a fucking dick move. Like.
That's like a racist ass dog whistle right there. That was fucked up.
I'll put it this way. There are a lot of problems in society.
Yeah. Gonna take a wee chill out, pal. No. There's just a fucking dick move. You don't make digs at people's personal or background or anything like that. And as much as me and Leo disagree, I give the man the floor and the chance to speak, and we have this back and forth, and he comes back because I respect Leo. He's a very intelligent man. Alright? He's aware of his holdbacks and what he is and all the rest of it. Sometimes he's in this mood. He's having a debate tonight. He's probably fucking wound up from the debate. Doesn't matter. You don't make fucking statements like that. Now, Skeptic, you've got wishes. Would you like to make your 2 wishes?
Yes, I would. The 2 wishes that I was going to make, one would be, and again, we're working with a fictional concept, so I have no idea the practicals of how this would work. But one would be unlimited resources, and the other, I would say, is humans would be, how do I phrase this? basically human complete independence. So humans would no longer need to eat or use the bathroom or different things like that. They would be able to live and function completely independent regardless of external circumstances and not have to worry about things like diseases or injuries or different things of that nature. And they would have an unlimited amount of resources to basically exchange between each other. So then currency, in my opinion, wouldn't be necessary, because it would be like trying to charge people for air. It's not something you can practically do because it's a relatively unlimited resource. And so if all resources were like that, then essentially, if all resources were like that and humans did not have need for medical intervention or things like that, I think that would eliminate a lot of, not all, but I do think that would eliminate a significant amount of people's problems. We wouldn't have to worry about starvation or disease or different situations like that, because people would not be able to get hurt in those ways, and people would have an unlimited amount of resources if they did in fact need something. So yeah, those are my two wishes.
Sounds like it might take a while for people who have power through money to adjust to your wish.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I still stand by my wishes. As overall, I stand by my wishes as overall being good. What I think is good
Leo.
for everybody.
Leo, I don't know if you just seen what I typed in the chat, but yeah, I have more respect for you than I do have for Heretic, and I consider your opinion important. So.
And MathPig, like I genuinely want to apologize if it came off as like me coming in here and like derailing things. I apologize for that, but I just want to point out I can completely recapitulate the discussion that was just had over the last 20 minutes, point by point. And it all started with Heretic, me asking him a simple question, him trying to dodge it, him eventually answering it, but then saying that he doesn't have to give reasons for why I should accept his answer. I just took that to mean that he just doesn't have reasons for the words, the terms that he's using. And at that point, his terms are just vacuous, and there's no discussion there. And then we moved on, and I made some statement, do you think this, that, and the other? And the person answered yes, and then I tried to go into that further, and Richard here decided to take that, 15,000 miles off course.
Going over conversations that just had where people state what they said and what other people said makes my head explode on the inside, right? It's fine. What happened was people overtalked. That's what happened. Falling on Skeptic's point, where people need to have actual discussions where we take turns. Sometimes people get emotional and back and forth. I'm being called emotional and stuff like that. I get on with Leo. I respect him. So that's why Heretic's backstage.
I just really quickly, if I may, the reason I recapitulated that discussion was just because there were a couple of people that accused me of not following the discussion in this, and I just wanted to show that I obviously was. That was all. That was why I did that. I'm sorry.
Wait, I've been thinking about it the whole time, like, because it's been a weird, because I met that dude over on Wildheart's channel, and he came in because I wasn't even doing my rage thing, right? Like I had come into the side chat and people were saying that William had said something transphobic, so I just came on and started asking questions, right? And he comes right in on me and uses the, like I'm giving a straw man or something, that bullshit, and comes at me in a particular way over something, because I had sarcastically told William that this is when MathPig, you came in, I sarcastically told William that I had superior morality to him. I was just talking shit to William like I usually talk shit to William, and he had a problem with that, and he came in. And I think what we just saw is just a perfect example of when people say they're against safe spaces, which is, a person's individual right. If you want to be safe from a certain level of speech or content, you have every right to make yourself safe from that as an individual. That is your freedom. But people that are against that, they often have reasons, and I think that he couldn't give you his real reasons, Leo, because we saw that come out in his fucking racist ass dig at you, because ultimately the people that want to be able to say racist and bigoted things are racist and bigots. I mean, and I think we saw that play out today.
And that's the whole thing with being against safe spaces. They just want the power to be able to verbally accost and harass people wherever they go, because white people have always enjoyed that privilege.
Right.
Yeah. And I didn't get a chance to.
Say, I don't like now we're bashing the other side when they don't have representation. Heretic is in the backstage. If Leo has a problem, I'll leave him there. They can still type. But I don't like they did this and they say that without an opportunity for them to make their statement.
Well, no, he made the racist ass statement right here.
Okay, well, we can still, and there was misconfusion between what he thought Leo said and what Leo, and there is an opportunity to give clarification.
Leo told him he was a mixed dude, and he asked him if he had a fucking dad. That's racist.
Yeah, it's like people trying to argue that when Darth Dawkins made the comment about when people raided some store or something, yeah, they left all the Father's Day cards and the work boots. Like, yeah, that's totally not a racist statement. Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I call a racist, and I mean, bring him back on. I'll call him a racist to his face.
I'm asking. It's not you. I'm asking.
Well, I also wanted to say I wasn't necessarily speaking about specifically Heretic, although I do think he falls into the broader category. Right. But I was speaking more about just the entire class of people like him. The reason that they're against safe spaces is because they want to be openly bigoted in public and be able to get away with it. Like that's where it starts and that's where it ends.
Okay. Does the person have an opportunity to retort to that?
And I do think Skeptic should get another chance to do it.
I'm asking Leo a question.
Well, I'm just saying, like, let Skeptic do his wishes again, because I didn't even hear him. I was thinking about this shit, and I didn't even hear him.
Hello?
Yeah, okay,
Howdy.
Skeptic. Go for your reasoning. Hello, Midnight.
Yeah, I got distracted by the conversation. I think my wishes were basically unlimited resources, and basically human independence, or not bodily autonomy, but basically humans not having to worry about injuries or diseases, basically being immune to those things,
right.
not having to eat or drink water or things like that, being able to function completely independently. And my reasoning generally was that if people don't have to worry about food or water or diseases, then they won't have to deal with starvation or sickness or terrible things like that, and how that can affect their lives. And if we have an unlimited amount of resources, again, I don't know how this would work because we're working with a fictional concept, so I do not have the metaphysical logistics of this down. But
just clarification, what's the fictional concept? I'm just lost on that.
Oh, just making wishes. If I could have two wishes, and we clarified the parameters of the wishes.
If I can poke holes in your wishes, Skeptic. Limited resources and don't need to heal or eat food or anything like that. People, if you give that to people right now, then I think that people would abuse that. You know, you're going to create a whole fucking world of Nietzsche's. You know, just jump off a cliff to see what it feels like to break all my bones because they come back together again. Resources are free. We'll take advantage of that. Raising people who had that ability from the get-go would be a different thing than giving it to people right now.
That's very...
I'm not sure I understand what would be wrong with that, even if it's something that you don't like. If your body is completely independent and you can jump off a building and not break your bones, what is the hole in that? What's wrong with that?
I think he's trying to say that there will be no consequences then.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. I don't understand why that's a bad thing, though.
But as you pointed out, the best thing to do is an order of society. So people are walking about and going to the shop, and some guy can just walk in and shoot everybody in the head, and it's okay because everybody can just get up again and get on with their day. They will become numb to, oh, that person's bad.
This is the third time this week this happened. Why can't we move somewhere?
Yeah, well, what's that movie? Fucking The New Guy or whatever. I
mean, look. Don't get me wrong. I do like Skeptic Skeleton's idea, but I do agree that would also require wisdom because a lot of people are not gonna have that.
Wait, I'm confused. What do you mean? What?
I don't think what Skeptic Skeleton said, something about like, humans kind of living in societies where like basic needs are just met. I don't think that's all that far-fetched at all.
No, he said
not saying-
unlimited no. Basic needs are met, and unlimited resources and I don't die are completely different things.
Sure, but I think even with those things being granted, that we have limited resources and we die, we can still meet.
See
like,
you
the
later,
basic
Messenger
needs.
Reveals. Thank you very much again, man, for the super chat. Really appreciate it.
Hey, what's up,
I
John?
guess. Sorry.
I was just saying hey to Messenger.
Oh, okay. I guess I was just comparing it to, like, even if I give it to people now, I would much rather, because shootings happen now, and I would much rather people be unaffected and be like, God damn it, that's the 5th time this week I'm gonna be late for work,
Hey, you stole
rather
my
than to
joke.
be like dead. If I
You
could
stole my
choose.
joke.
Yes, I understand that, right? But I feel that, well, to be really simple, morality gives, points to life. The fact that it ends, if everybody could just heal and all the rest of it, you wouldn't protect yourself. You wouldn't be.
Actually,
I disagree with that.
we're on the verge of this science. Actually, MathPig, if you look into it, like scientists think that reversing death is a possibility, and there's scientists on this world that
Did you
thinks
read
that
clickbait?
huh?
Did you read?
I'm just saying that there's some scientists right now that think that humanity is going to come to a point, whether it's through nanotechnology or other technologies that they're developing, that we're going to be able to live as long as we want.
I've come to a point. Yes,
Good.
I would agree
You know
that
what?
the
I'm with
idea.
Rage.
I would agree that the idea of coming to that point is definitely a possibility, but I don't think that scientists are at the stage now where I could jump off a cliff and get up and walk away.
No,
I mean,
I think that would probably still kill you.
Well, hang on. We're talking about two very different things, right? We are on the verge of extending our lifespans and health spans, but obviously you're still gonna fucking die if somebody shoots you in the head, like, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Why does
the
shooting?
difference
Why,
between-
well, hold on. Why does shooting you in the head kill you and fucking jumping off a cliff doesn't?
Well, not so. Oh my.
Well,
Matt,
it would still kill
differences
you.
in distribution of the damage, I guess, the ways, like the different
no,
kinds
hang
of
on.
damage.
We're getting so many. I'm getting so fucking confused here. What scientists are trying to do now, won't allow us to jump off a fucking cliff, just like SS was talking about. Okay, it's just about extending our lifespan and health span. See,
Perhaps-
many people.
Perhaps someone would define the differences between immortality and eternality.
I would actually.
Immortality is cannot die, like you can't perish, and eternality is just there is no state of affairs in which you don't exist.
Can I clarify, since I made the wishes? I would not. The way my wish was working, at least in my head, I probably didn't explain it that well, is basically not being unable to die, but rather being unable to die basically from anything besides aging. So I do think that people would still eventually grow old and die. But
Yeah, no.
if
screw
I
that.
had to choose circumstances, the way I'm thinking about it is like this. If I had to choose a circumstance, I would rather humans, if they're going to jump off a bridge, I would rather them be unaffected than for them to be dead. If they're going to be diseased, I would rather them be unable to get sick than for them to be able to get cancer. I would rather them to be unable, or I would rather them to not have any need to eat food beyond pleasure, rather than they risk starvation. And that's sort of my reasoning is, if those are my two options, I would choose the latter, because getting shot and living, or getting shot and being unaffected by that, would be substantially better than getting shot and dying. And that's why I structured it that way.
How do you teach that that's the bad thing to do whenever your child comes to you and go, but it makes no difference, Daddy, if I shoot someone or not? How do you know then that that's to treat someone like that with that disrespect is a bad thing?
It might become like a kink. You want
Right.
But then I prefer that. I prefer in that circumstance that people, again, if people can shoot each other and nothing negative happens, then yeah, you can make an argument that that's not bad anymore. But I would prefer it not to be bad. I would prefer it to be harmless rather than for it to be this terrible thing.
Okay, yeah, I don't
I do
think.
think
What about what about emotional damage? Like I just thought of that. Like yeah, somebody can be shot, but they're fine, but it's still traumatic, isn't it?
Not after a while. Not after you've been shot 3 times in a week.
Piece of shit.
But if you're completely unaffected by it physically, is it traumatic? And that's sort of the parameters of like I was setting with my wish, is that people would be unaffected by those things, not that they would like feel it and feel the pain and then eventually heal. It's just they'd be completely unaffected from the beginning.
Right, but you can but you can still you can still feel something emotionally without feeling it physically, although there is a link between the two. So...
I don't think that's possible.
What in particular?
You don't think what's
No, I'm a physicalist. I don't think that you can feel emotions without there being some physical substrates or processes interacting in some way that gives rise to that.
It would be interesting.
Well, when I've tried, forget it.
Under
go ahead.
Skeleton's parameters, it wouldn't be an evil thing to shoot someone. It'd just be funny.
Yeah.
Everybody would laugh about it.
Yeah.
Well, how long
And I
does it take to
prefer
make
that.
you come back again? Like, do you instantly stand back up again and heal? Do you have to take a day
Well,
off?
Is it that you come back from the dead, or is it that you don't even die to begin with?
Yeah, does it just instantly, heal and then you just go and spit the bullet out or something? Like,
It's just straight up bounces off of you. Your
Oh, it
skin is
bounces off.
impenetrable. Your bones are unbreakable.
Well, then
Whatever
nobody would go in with
circumstances
a
that
gun.
need to happen to make you basically invincible.
Yeah,
to
we wouldn't even
anything
need
besides
guns.
old age.
Do you know what that would
My
end up
ideal
happening?
world.
The insurance companies would get off on that, because if it's bouncing off me, it's wrecking all my equipment, and I'm fucking suing some bastard for my new cash register. Like.
But if there are unlimited resources, you don't need those things.
Yeah.
You wouldn't need
But-
an insurance company.
If you're indestructible, you wouldn't need weapons to kill each other.
Can
That's
anybody
it,
be
man.
truly indestructible? Like, if I put one of these hypothetical humans, like, right, like 1,000 miles from a star right before it goes supernova, are they gonna survive?
Can we
Have you ever-
watch
have
that?
you ever
They
seen the show
probably would
Invincible?
not.
Have you ever seen the show Invincible? Omni
Nope.
Man is pretty invincible.
Yeah, in the context of my wish, yes, but I don't know how they would get to the star, because just because you're invincible, like, I'm not granting them other superpowers like flight or anything. So
Well, I mean, if
Just
we're
put 'em
granting
out of
them
the
the ability
cannon.
to, like, somehow change the laws of physics so that the elements that make up their body aren't changed in environments where they otherwise would be, then I don't see why we can't also stipulate that they can, like, I don't know, teleport to a star. Like,
well,
I mean, at
only
that
because
point,
I have
I
two
think they
wishes,
have a lot of
so
things.
I can't.
I thought you
Oh,
had
okay.
three.
Oh, I see.
I thought you had 3 wishes.
Skeptic,
we established
Carl,
earlier
Carl
that
the
only
Atheist has just subscribed to your channel. She says that she likes what you're saying.
Oh, thank you. I'm not gonna ramble too much, but I should be coming back. I'm working on getting an editor. Hint, hint. Wink, wink. And hopefully I'll be back on a more consistent basis once I have someone to wrangle in my ADHD.
At least once a month.
Why does everybody? Why is it? It always seems like everybody has ADHD these days.
People
I
can't
don't.
focus because the world is too much going on. Now, I'm not
I
I'm
was
not
clinically
dismissing.
diagnosed,
If
so
I
I'm-
can just say before I can, I'm
Don't
not
pull a
dismi-
Tom Cruise.
I'm not dismissing skeptics if they have a diagnosis or no diagnosis. I'm not dismissing what they're saying. It's a real life thing that there's so much going on right now with everybody and everything. Like, just walking from your car to your fucking house, you've looked at your phone
Yeah.
6 times and seen 7 news feeds.
I think it's a result of all the information our brains are taking in. Never before in human history have we taken in so much information.
Never before
That's
in
why I
human
think
that
history.
humans
depends
are
on the
getting
culture.
You
smarter.
could make that statement about fucking everything. Never before in human history has
Hugh, that
they
makes no sense.
taken a picture
What?
of the star as
What?
well as we did the other day in the James Webb,
Everywhere you go, you got lights, you got things flashing at you. You're
Yeah, but
constantly on
MathPig, that's
monitors.
right. Like,
Yeah.
wouldn't that be why that we're learning the things that we haven't known about since?
No, I just
until
mean,
now.
yeah, well, never before in history might as well be saying this is where we're at.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Well,
I
that's
think
what
I
it,
think
that's what it does say. I think.
Yeah, but it seems more epic. Never before in history has this happened. You know, it's like, it's very epic when it's basically just saying,
Never before.
look
never
what we
before in
learned
history has
today.
midnight never stuttered.
You know.
It's the way I talk.
Oh no, I thought it was funny. I'm just being a dick. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree basically. I do think it's a cultural thing because it might depend on the culture. But yeah, I can agree in some places of the world there's so much happening that people in general are more easily distracted. It's just with ADHD there are more complications than just being distracted. But that's a
the
side
pretty
topic we don't
lights
have
and
to
the
get into.
shiny things. Pretty lights and shiny.
I'm the exact opposite. I'm hyper focused. I get too focused on shit.
Which is a symptom of ADHD, actually.
See,
Yeah, I've been told that. Yeah.
This is why I've offered to help you, man, because I'm like, I do better doing two things, and I want to edit and finish up what I'm doing. So helping you out with yours is a way of doing mine as well. So, sorry, do I bore you, Midnight?
No.
No, he just very loudly sighs while he's not on mute.
Hey, Leo knows me.
Apologies for boring you. You know, would you like to talk about anything? Have you got a
No,
fantastic?
apologies for boring
What's
you.
your two wishes? The only rules that we came upon was you can reanimate one person or everyone who died from an event. Nothing huge like the fucking World Wars, but yes to Titanic. And you only get two wishes. Go.
Okay.
And you can't wish for more wishes.
And that, but that's self-evident.
So why make it 2? That's what I want to know.
Why make it 2? Because 3 you'll flaunt one and have fun. I don't want to have fun. I want to see your personality, and your personality be shown in 2 wishes.
We went off for an hour on somebody's first wish, so yeah, 3 might have been too much.
Okay, well, I guess the first wish I would have is to make sure that everybody, that everybody that has a condition like mentally ill or just physically sick or whatever would be healed.
Does that include me? Because I don't want that.
Well, it depends what their
be-
definition of heal is. You know.
Well, but it also depends on what he means by like mental disability. Like that's why I asked, am I included in that? Given that I have autism, because I don't want to not have autism. I don't want to be a fucking normie. You people are weird.
Well,
here, you
well,
say that,
hold on.
man.
Well,
I'm
first-
fucking. I'm
Okay, well,
undiagnosed.
first
You're
of all-
weird.
Go and talk to fucking, what do you call him? Answers in Atheism. You know, a friend of his actually believes that, is actually looking into the idea that autism is the brain evolving and just not getting there yet, you know?
I think that wouldn't surprise me if it falls
It's
somewhere.
also,
along that. I would have to see some research on it.
would you believe it's also the premise of a book called The Atlantis Gene from like 2000, early 2000 or something? There's 3 stories, 3 books, and it's quite a nice fictional read, but that is the premise of one person is studying autism as the next stage in the human brain evolvement.
Well, it wouldn't. The reason it wouldn't surprise me is because I was reading a study a few months ago, like towards the early summer, and so they classify people that don't have autism as being allistic, and then people who have autism as obviously autistic.
Allistic.
Yeah,
That's
but
weird.
what they showed is that when you take allistic people and you put them with other allistic people, there is no communication breakdown. When you take allistic people and you put them with autistic people, there is a communication breakdown. However, when you put autistic and autistic people together, there is also no communication breakdown. And they said that it's similar to a language. If you took 2 Spaniards and put them together, they'd be able to communicate fairly well. If you took 2 Dutchmen and put them together, they'd be able to communicate fairly well. But if you took a Dutchman and a Spaniard and put them together, they're not going to be able to communicate. So what they said is that it's not that people who are autistic are worse at communication. They communicate differently.
Right.
And it may be the case that they communicate better.
Now, if I can give you a completely anecdotal thing, we go camping every year, me and my daughter, and I would consider myself, you know, I'm not diagnosed or anything like that. I've done online tests and things like that, and people have said things, and I would consider myself, my opinion, to be undiagnosed Asperger's or a little touch of it, right? I see in my daughter, with her intelligence and the way that she thinks about things, early signs of the awareness and stuff, and early signs of autism in it. When it comes to social issues, she's not great in the park with a lot of normies, right? She'll run up to them and go, "Hi, I'm Elena. I've got a blanket and a big box of sweets. Do you want to play? It's great to play. Can you be my best friend?" And they just go like, "Holy shit, who the fuck is this person?" Right? And 2 years ago when we went camping, only for the first 2 days, we were there for 5, but there was a couple already there. They had a child, and it was a boy, and it was a year younger than my daughter at the time. And they were in the process of getting him diagnosed for this, that, and the other, because he was very insociable. Didn't like other children, always would panic and stuff. And within the space of an hour, the two of them together, Elena took the lead and was like, "Look, we're going to play this." And they went along with it, and it was great. And the kids really had a great time for that 2 days they were together. And that child didn't usually interact with normies. And my wee girl knew and took the lead and sort of, so I can see anecdotally from that without paperwork and diagnosis.
Well, and what you're describing, that there's definitely a lot of characteristics there. If you have the ability, do get her tested, because if it's on paper, I guess I can't really speak for you because you live in a different country and I don't know exactly the systems that they have in place. But if I had to guess, I would presume that if you have that on paper, particularly later in life, as in like, well, I don't know, what do you guys call high school, like GSCE or something like that?
GCSEs come in.
GCSE, okay, yep. At that level and the post-secondary level, I would almost guarantee there's probably something or some way that she can benefit.
In all honesty, if that is, and all the rest of it, and it is true, when it becomes an issue outside of social nature and when it interacts and does any damage to her education, then yes, I will go forward with that. At the minute, bitch is a wee savant. She's an IQ of 120 plus. She's top of her year by 20 IQ points. I know IQ's out of date and all, but still.
Oh, it's really not, but yeah, there are a lot of people that say, well, it's not really, don't listen to those people.
No, but it's relative nature regardless. She's very good. The only thing she lacks is social nature. She does say to me and has said to me that she would like a brother or sister. She wants someone that she can interact with more on a regular basis. And to be fair, whenever I thought was a great experience, I think it was about 6 months ago, her mother works in an old folks home, and a particular person came over from another country and came over here, and they did the night shift. And the reason that they did that was because the child's mother put forth, "Look, I look after your wee boy, at night time," because she only lived around the corner and they both worked in the same spot and all. So for 3 nights out of the week, while this woman came over and worked to make a bit of money before she went home again, the child's mother put forth, "Look, I'll make it easier for you. I'll look after your kid. And when I start work in the morning, I'll drop your kid with you. You can take him to school." And the wee boy didn't speak any English whatsoever or none of that. It was a real good experience for about 3 or 4 months, where every day she would wake up and have breakfast and they were together and go to bed at night, and she had someone to play with. And as I say, didn't speak any language. Didn't speak any English. He obviously spoke a language. I think they were Romanian, but yeah, it was really, really good. I thought it was a good experience and good of her mother to offer to do that. More anecdotal bullshit because I love my daughter. Sorry. And nobody speaks.
Howdy.
Hi, Q. Slim Jim's here.
No, what I was gonna jump in real quick before the conversation got changed a little bit. Leo, I think that's why you and I have always been able to clearly communicate, because I'm also autistic, and I've never really when I was in high school, dude, I couldn't fucking communicate with damn near anybody.
I couldn't either, but I also grew up in rural Iowa, so that might have had something.
I mean, Iowa sucks, but so does Indiana. But we won't start that fucking rabbit hole. Anyway, but there were other kids that were on the spectrum, like I was, and we always had a table in the morning and at lunch where we could just sit down, play Yu-Gi-Oh. And like, dude, when I say that the conversations were mostly just like short, sweet, and to the point. Everybody knew what was going on. Everybody knew what we were talking about, and like there was never any communicational breakdown. But when I would invite my friends over, my parents could not understand a single fucking thing that we were talking about, and they were like, what are you guys saying?" And I'm like, "Look, it's an autism thing." And like they wouldn't believe me because, you know, they're like, "Well, why can't you inform me?" I'm like, you know, because you don't have autism, so you wouldn't fucking get it. So I feel like there is like, I've learned certain ways to talk to people that are neurotypical because at a certain point you kind of have to. But it's never been as easy as it has with other people that are neurodivergent because like, like this is gonna sound fucked up, but you can like kind of tell if you're neurodivergent, whether that be with ADHD, autism, Asperger, like anything like that. You can tell when another person is neurodivergent. And like it's like a fucking radar, bro. It's like right there, like bing.
It's like how gay men can just look at another man and be like, "You're fucking gay. You're gayer.
You're fabulous."
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Right, like.
So. Wow, I'm in the middle. So you guys have known me forever. What do you guys do?
Yeah, you're a pivot man.
What?
You're in the middle. You're the pivot man.
Skeptic skeleton in the private chat. Sorry, I slipped out by accident.
We'll just stick her back in there.
Well,
welcome, Sergeant Slim Jim.
Okay, I guess.
Здравствуй, товарищи. Как дела?
Oh, the Russians are here. Kick them out.
The Soviets now gotta run it.
Okay, everybody was talking, then everybody was respectful, and then I talked over Skeptic. Go, Skeptic.
No, I was just making a joke. I don't understand Russian. I have no idea what was said, but I take offense to it.
I mean, I don't understand.
Comrades, how are you?
I don't understand half the people on this panel.
Where is? Alrighty, it's 3 minutes to my debate. I don't have a link yet, but I am going to take off so I can the debate that I have on modern day debate.
All right, you master debater.
Why,
Okay,
man?
well,
Why even give that motherfucker the? He has been
because it's how you get exposure. Modern day debate is a great channel for exposure.
Hey man, if you want some exposure, Leo, talk to me later, baby.
No, like I'm like being like honest here. Like I don't care what you say about the channel. Modern day debate is a very good channel for exposure.
Okay, I would say that Cider and Port has been on as many times as you and doesn't get the exposure, and the reason being he doesn't.
Also doesn't join
No. I'm talking, you motherfucker. I'm trying to give you a compliment. You put content out, and your content is interesting to a certain group of people. I would say that if you checked and did a poll in your community tab, if you can, which I think you can now from a lower level. Oh, and by the way, if people don't know, from 100 subs now, you can actually add a selling bar underneath you, or 1,000 subs. You don't need to wait to 30,000 anymore. So if you're monetized and you get to 1,000, you can now do a shop underneath your channel. Do a poll, Leo. Find out how many people came from modern day debate and how many people found you from random searches on your particular topics. And I bet you that modern day debate is not as influential as you think it is.
Well, I'm not like saying that it's like massively influential, but it is good for exposure.
It's not worth a fuck.
Well, I think
man,
it's
you're
good
gonna
for exposure, and
Leo, you can
the stats,
close yourself
my
to me.
experience, and others seem to indicate roughly the same.
I'm just saying.
MathPig, I want you to know that we've all but eliminated polio.
We've all but eliminated polio?
Well, yeah, because you said take a polio.
Take a poll, Leo. That's what you said.
Take a... Oh, fuck off. Right now I got it. Sorry, brain fart. Yeah, take a poll, Leo.
Okay, well, I guess Leo can go argue, debate whoever the fuck it is. Maybe Ken Hovind, maybe John Maddox.
Yeah,
I don't know, who is it?
No, I'm gonna be, me and Amy Newman are doing a 2v2 versus Witsit Gets It, Austin Witsit, and some other flat earther. All right, but I gotta take off. 'Cause I'm sure I'm
tell
gonna-
him he can eat
Flat
my
Earth is
ass.
so beneath. Like, dude, wow.
Yeah,
You know
not
what,
you,
do
Midnight.
but that's just disappointing.
James can eat my
Love you, Leo.
It was abrupt.
So anyway, I guess we were talking about 2 wishes, right?
Yeah, I never got to finish mine, but whatever.
Okay, go for it.
Nah.
No, you don't want to.
But why draw attention to it if you're not gonna finish it? That doesn't make. Okay.
I guess the second wish is that to wish that they don't have to grant the second wish.
Okay, look, the first wish I was gonna do is to have people who are physically, who are physically disabled or also mentally disabled, like healed, right? But let's leave, let's leave people with autism the way they are, right? Everyone gets healed except people with autism. There you go. That's my first wish.
You're a bigot.
I know. And my second wish is that Q gets to go next. I don't know.
So you cried and complained you didn't get to say your wishes when you already said one and can't think of your second, just to confirm.
I mean, I wouldn't put it quite like that because I'm not going whack, but sure.
So Nina works too. Nina works as well. Richard, do you have 2 wishes?
Oh, you know I do.
Give me them wishes, man. And
Right.
no. If I can say, I don't want to hear your wishes. That I'm gonna put a caveat just on you.
I was gonna say something different than last time.
Okay, well that was godlike powers. These are 2 wishes, different rules, and we did allow something we didn't before, which was the rain, not the rain. Which was you can reanimate 1 person or 1 accident or whatever. You heard me say it a couple of times. You know what I'm fucking saying,
right?
And you can't wish for more wishes.
And you do that every time. That
I would first take away universally from every human on this earth their memory of prejudices.
Oh,
I
hot
would
damn.
in my second wish, I would take all history of prejudices away and we'd just be done with it.
You could combine them into 1 wish, and I'd give you another.
Then for my second wish, I'd ask for a Coca-Cola.
Diet or sugar-free?
It's
not a dichotomy. You can say cherry. You can say cherry.
I understand. Classic Coke without the cocaine, what they called classic Coke.
Okay, so just so that way I can clarify, you guys said you can or can't bring someone back to life.
I disallowed it when you were a god, but I am allowing it when you have the ability through a genie.
Okay,
One person or something small, as the example I've used is the Titanic, but not a world war or a civilization.
I guess for my first wish, I would bring my mom back to life so I could have like a conversation with her, at least.
Oh no, they're back for life. They're back for life. You know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I would bring my mom back.
You're very
And
loud.
then-
You're very loud, Q. Is there any way you can lower your gain, or can I take control of that? Let me see.
You might be able to do it because I can't fuck with my settings at the moment.
Okay, go.
How about now as a Vader?
Talk now.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, half your volume. Go.
There we go. And then for my second wish, I wish that my body didn't feel like crap right now. I think that's my second wish, yeah.
So selfish.
So, yeah, I know. I'm selfish. or better yet, I would wish that weed was legalized everywhere. You just get that shit over with.
Legal weed is good.
Legal weed is good, okay.
Funny story. I was watching Wild Hearts for people who have. I think Knock knows this, and maybe Skeptic. We mentioned it earlier. Wild Heart. We all know Wild Heart. We all have a love or love-hate relationship with Wild Heart. And I was waiting on my friend about, I go and talk to about a dog. You know that friend. And when he picked me up, he asked me what I was watching, and I showed him. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go home and join this stream." So he says, "Oh, sure, send me the link. I've seen your channel." He says, "Send me a link." So I sent my man about a dog the link to Wild Hearts whenever I joined, and he watched, and then he was bored after it ended, and he watched a couple of other ones, and he watched Wild Heart drinking and cooking and cleaning up and all the rest of it. And he was watching again earlier, and Wild Heart has his PayPal in it, and he sent him £69 sterling, which was awful nice of that particular person to do. And yeah, it was funny. He was like, "Your friend really needs help." I was like, "No, he's going to detox. It's good. It's good." He's like, "Oh, it's good." He's all helping out and stuff. So he wanted to do his bit and helped out. Hoping that Wild Heart will buy cooking supplies. I don't know if wine is cooking supplies. Kizume, thank you for subscribing. Kizume?
I mean, it can be a cooking supplies if you don't drink the full fucking bottle first.
Slim Jim, have you been listening? Did you pop by and just jump straight on without any into the deep end? I had any idea what you were doing?
Yeah, I got no idea what you guys are up to.
We started on a discussion about making wishes with limited abilities, as you've picked up.
Okay.
One of the particular people that was on earlier, their first wish was to get rid of safe spaces, which under the definition they put forward in a short version was the ability to say literally anything you wanted, including things that are offensive to other people, with the idea of no consequences. Which started an entire conversation for about an hour. And then we had a few other things. Rage, memeing Rage's answer. He went full left and damn fucking communist, was all free for everybody.
Yeah, make the poor rich and the rich poor.
That there you go. Few other people at different points of view, but yeah. Have you any idea on 2 wishes you would like? And if they disagree with the rules we set forward, we will let you know.
Well, like Richard, I will have a Coke for my second wish.
Right. You only need 1. People wanted 3. I was like, nah, you're only getting 2. You only need 1.
For the first wish, I'd refer you to the Boondock Saints for my first wish.
I haven't seen
the
that
joke
in ages.
will make sense.
I haven't seen that in fucking ages.
When they ask Rocco to tell them a joke.
I know the movie. I know I've watched it. It's been years.
Yeah, I haven't watched it in years either.
Tell us the joke.
I can't tell you the joke on stream. I'll get MathPig demonetized and possibly struck.
Oh, we have been demonetized earlier.
Yeah, that chip is.
I've never
already,
seen Boondock Saints. I ain't gonna
Oh,
lie.
Skeptic remembers. He says don't, so I'll take Skeptic's word.
No,
It's racist and anti-Semitic.
The
Yeah, it's
monetization ship has long since been sunk.
okay. It's racist and anti-Semitic, so let's not go with that. Thank you, Cloud.
Okay, never mind. Don't tell us the joke. Don't tell us the joke.
I told you. But nobody
Hey,
else
I've
is
never seen the
smart.
movie. I've never seen the movie, so like, it's not
Okay,
that I
so
need
give
to
us
be
your
like,
wishes, Slim Jim. Give us your wishes.
Honestly, if I had 2 wishes, the first one would be that everybody'd be Catholic, and the second one is I'll have a Coke, please.
Slim Jim, have you met Knock?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
We're
Just
actually
'Cause
from
I was surprised
more or less
that
the same
Knock.
place.
I was surprised that Knock hasn't met Heretic before. Like, you only met him tonight on Wilds?
As far as I can remember. Yeah, me and Slim, we've talked several times, and yeah, Slim's in my neck of the woods quite often. Heretic. That was my first time, I believe, unless I talked to him under a different pseudonym. or
Fabio
whatever.
can confirm for me, but heretics are around. Fabio's in the chat. Fabio, you've got the link, motherfucker. Come on in. Fabio's two rules. Me as ruler of the earth. Nuclear fusion uses something more viable than trinium. Is it trinium?
Yeah, me and Heretic didn't. We didn't hit it off right from the very beginning.
Oh, he's like, I like Heretic because he speaks his mind, he doesn't give a shit, and all the rest of it. But if you think Willie's bad, you haven't even got a drip of Heretic, in your opinion, right?
Oh yeah, well, I'm sure that I can guess. Like he said a lot of things that reminds me of a lot of people I know. I just find it, because I'm so openly left that I'm such a repellent that they automatically make assumptions. Or like they try to say that I pander, I do this, I do that, and I'm like, I speak my own mind.
They make assumptions. You never make assumptions. No,
never.
Just
Never.
making sure, because you're morally not superior.
But I admit that I make assumptions. So right wingers are generally shit people, but not always.
Yes, I am.
Speaking
enjoyed
of
our
which, Slim Jim,
conversation,
Are you still
Ellen.
scaring people by cleaning your fingernails with a pocket knife?
It wasn't a pocket knife; it was a K-bar.
Well, are you still scaring people?
I just scare people by showing up.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
It's been a minute,
like
man.
it wasn't cleaning his nails. It was like Jill sitting on a K-bar, right?
What? Right. Do
Once
me a
you
favor,
definitely
Rage.
sit on my
Right.
K-bar.
Do me a favor, will you?
Yeah.
You live rent free inside Jill's house. Would you knock the landlord's door and ask him where the fuck he's come up with this idea that I'm 4'2" and making jokes about my height in all these live chats? He tried to do it in a funny way, in his opinion, in 420's chat about 2 weeks ago, and he made a statement about me and my knees looking up at him, and it just came off as really gay and blowjobby. So I have screenshots of Jill asking me for a blowjob. But ask him why he's obsessed with my height lately. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I know he wasn't
kinda
talking
hot.
about your height. He wasn't talking about your height as in you standing up there, MathPig. He saw the bacon bits and got a little jealous. when
I
that
have
man kitty
no
busted out.
idea where he's just out of nowhere. Is all, well, look, here's 4'2" math piglet. It's like, what?
Well, Red, that's what I'm saying. He saw the math keeney. He was just like,
See?
damn, I'm
4'2".
jealous. Why can't I get a little?
Spartan
I don't
saying
think
it
it's
4'2".
jealousy. I don't. It doesn't sound like jealousy for exactly.
But he definitely looks up to you.
No, I look up to him from my knees.
That's hot.
Jill is.
I didn't know you swung that way, bros.
Definitely not. Not
The
for
problem
him
with Jill
anyway.
is Jill thinks he's witty, right? Like he comes in with the whole liberal bashing thing every time he comes into my side chat. So like he thinks he's like being masterful with his wit when he goes at your height because he's an idiot.
Well, I did try to. Like, he made jokes about the fact of being stupid, not understanding, and made implications about he didn't directly say anything about my daughter or anything like that or whatever. But I was like, yeah, when I try and teach my kids the way to move forward, if they are better at something, they should help someone with it. And on top of that, she's also the smartest person in her year. She's an IQ of 120. You're a dumb fuck. You don't know IQ's out of date. You don't even know what test they give. I'm like, Janitor
this is
Jill, sit the fuck down. You're that stupid you don't even know janitors get paid better than me. And I'm a special eds teacher. And you think that's
This
an
is the same
insult?
guy that equivalent making fun of my mom dying from cancer because I made a joke that Jesus liked getting nailed to the cross by a bunch
I
of
literally
Romans.
feel that I have to go and have a shower now because I've said and talked about them for all of about 4 minutes and I feel really dirty. So can we
Hey,
change the
I'll wash
topic?
your back if you're on your knees for me.
Can we pick on another Christian? Hello, Slim Jim.
You can talk about my second channel all you want. It doesn't
You have a
bother
second
me.
channel now?
Yeah, it's called Rebuke and Reprove.
That your rebuke and reprove? Shit, I've been out the loop for a minute now. Then how?
No, just most of the content on Rebuke and Reprove is in response to me, so I figured I'd just call it my second channel. For a
yeah,
while
I've
in
been
my
out the loop.
channel description, I actually wrote visit my second channel, and then I linked his channel.
Yeah, Jill has this weird obsession with Slim. It's odd.
Really? So
He
he
wants him to
loves
give
you?
him the
Oh,
K-bar.
oh no!
It's
I
the
feel
K-bar thing, I think.
I'm a little jealous
I
now.
think you're right.
So, like, MathPig, does he want you to pray to him while you're on his knees? I mean, like, when you're on your knees, or like.
Can we
like,
stop
kinda
talking
fucking-
about this and picking another Christian? Hello, Slim Jim. Did you not hear me like 3 minutes ago?
Sorry.
Hello, MathPig. How are you?
I just can't.
I don't pick on people that can kill me.
Do you own bombs? Are you from Northern Ireland too?
I kid.
Yeah, I was not. Yeah, we're joking. Sorry.
No, I'm worse. I'm from northern Michigan.
Yeah. He's
So,
one of those. He's
apparently-
one of those non-Christian Catholics.
Rage will tell you got to look out for the Mupers, especially when we start cracking open the Miller Lights.
Oh yeah, you gotta
So
watch out. Man.
here's a little fun tidbit. Apparently, about 2 months ago, in the town that I'm living in now, we have a park, right? And there was 2 grandmas that pulled out guns and were willing to shoot each other because they both had dementia and thought one of the kids was their grandson. So they pulled out pistols to fucking fight over him.
That's based.
Yes.
So I was like, Jesus Christ.
Where did that happen?
That's the result of having 350 million guns in America. It's gonna
I mean,
happen.
I'm not gonna say what town, but it happened in Indiana. So yeah.
I'm surprised it didn't happen in Texas. That's what I was expecting.
Oh, you know, Indiana, we're known for 3 things: granny shootouts, beans, and corn, man.
Oh, it's the second week of deer camp, and all the guys are here. We drink, play
Speaking of
cards,
which, deer
shoot
season's
the
coming
bull,
up
but
soon.
never shooting a deer.
There we go.
I'm actually excited for season this year because I'm gonna be going out a lot more than I have been in the last 3 years. Because you can't hunt in fucking Vegas unless you're going for tumbleweeds.
Oh, you can hunt in Vegas.
Not the fun kind of hunting.
Yes,
do you
the fun
wanna-
kind of hunting.
Why do you want to kill Bambi?
Because Bambi tastes good.
Love you, Carl.
Same reason why I want to kill Thumper, because Thumper tastes good.
Because killing is fun.
It depends now. I've enjoyed shooting pigeons and shooting rabbits, but I would say that I could be capable of shooting any particular human that caused harm to my child, but I would still have issues with it.
I mean, you can't
I
really
ne- I
equivalent
never liked
shooting a
hunting.
fucking. You can't really equivalent shooting a fucking rat with wings to shooting a human, though.
It
So,
depends.
Can I ask a question?
Go for it,
Go
Skeptic.
Go for it.
Life is life.
So,
If it's about me at my knees in front of Jill, I don't want to answer it.
not directly about that. If MathPig tasted good, would you kill him? And how would
No.
you taste him beforehand to know that he tasted good?
I mean, the man smokes weed like bacon, so you know he tastes good.
I've also
hey,
I've
imagine.
been cutting down my fat content, man. I'm not as gristly, fatty, chewy.
Well, I guess I'm not eating you then.
It's all about the lean cuts.
Exactly. No, like I grew up in a household where like we had predominantly more venison than we did cattle because venison is actually it's been well documented that venison is better for you than cattle is, and I grew accustomed to venison, and my adopted father can make a very fucking good deer jerky, so you know, just saying. Like I've heard that humans taste like pork from a source that I don't know to be reliable, but you know.
They do.
I can
Don't ask
probably
me how I
say
know.
I've never killed anything ever, except for maybe like ants that I started.
I have shot a
Oh,
motherfucking
well, I mean,
pigeon.
then you're a murderer. You're a murderer right there. It's proof.
I
You
have
killed
shot a
ants,
motherfucking
therefore
bastard
murderer.
and pigeon, and I let that fucking family of pigeons, mother and father, come in for a year, nearly 2 years, and have little baby pigeons and create a family. And then they moved from where they had their nest in our shed at work to above my computer for the alignment machine at about £15,000 and shit all over my fucking computer out in the yard, in the building. And they did that, and I tried to shoot them, tried to go. No, they spent that, and they just shit all over the fucking computer on a regular basis. It was directly below their nest. They just go over to the edge, and clean it up. You go in the next morning. So I shot both them motherfuckers and the 2 that come in next to try and steal their nest. And I think the 4th one out of the second pair, the second one out of the second pair, I only clipped him because he tried to get away, and he lay in front of the local army cadet base right across the street from us, where they train cadets run by the MOD and all the rest of it. And he sat in front of it all. Oh, I'm feeling sad and all that. I think fuck. I drove the car round and sat in the back seat of my car, down where the cameras couldn't see me, and still shot the fucker. Dead wee bastard, not coming and shitting him.
Look, pigeons are dead on sight because look, when I lived in Vegas, my apartment had this little balcony, and pigeons decided to shit all over that motherfucker. So, I decided, I want to make it look nice. I cleaned it. I got all the pigeon shit off of it, and not 2 fucking weeks later, there was a pile of more. So from now on, if I see a pigeon and I got a fucking airsoft gun, I'm gonna shoot that little bastard because I fucking hate every single pigeon. I hate them. Fuck pigeons. I hope they all fucking get ran over.
The pigeons got a shit too, man.
Yeah, well, just don't shit when I clean. Bastards. Also, squirrel tastes good. If you never had squirrel, I highly recommend that shit. It's very delicious. MathPig.
Dargendorp, my grandfather had pigeon houses out his back. He raced them all over the world, and one of the reasons I bought this house is because it had a lot of land, and the person who was here before me kept pigeons. And about a month and a half ago, me and my wee girl went down and watched all the local old people. Oh, fuck, they were very old. They'd been on their 90s with their little baskets of pigeons, loading them up to send them to, I think, France, so they can fly home. So, nice pigeons, not a problem. Rats with wings, shit in my computer.
MathPig, I meant to ask you, bro, have you finally got to see Superhero yet?
Every morning when I look in the mirror.
Oh, haha. Fuck off. You know what I'm talking about.
To say, like, look at my icon. There you go.
You know what I'm talking about.
That's a disco Jesus.
That's not Jesus.
Oh, is that Mary?
That's the Blessed Virgin.
Oh, the Blessed Virgin Mary.
Come on now.
It's very blurry. You need to get a better camera.
No, I blurred it on purpose.
But yeah, have you got to see it yet?
Superhero what? DC Superhero Pets?
No, DBZ.
Oh yeah, I took my daughter to the local cinema to watch it subtitled in Japanese. I am the best father ever.
Like a good father should.
But what did you think of it?
It was a filler episode.
You didn't like it? What the fuck?
No, I didn't say that. I did not say that. One of my most favorite episodes ever is when Piccolo learns to drive, and that has absolutely nothing to do with fucking. It's not even in Kai. All right, but no, it was a filler episode.
Well, I mean,
Gur's here. Hi, Gur. Hi, Gur. He's got 2 fresh knuckle sandwiches for me.
Yeah, fucking ETT's in Gur's stream right now. Dude has been dodging a conversation with me.
And me. Asked me about 6 hours before he asked Gur. And then, he's on Gur's, so that's all right. We know that the flat earthers prefer to go on dumpster fire.
What is up with you guys and flicking on fucking our flat earthers, man?
Flicking? I don't flick or fluff. I flick or fluff, no flat earthers.
Stop picking on the flat earth people. It's not their fault, they're stupid.
There's a lot of innuendos in this panel.
Oh, we're all very open. Everybody here
but like, what I...
Do you want me to take my top off? I can get excited.
Please.
Oh, yes, please.
Have you not seen my birthday streams? Do you not see what these bastards do to me every fucking year?
Hey, you like it, don't act like you don't. You get a little personal satisfaction.
These people buy me.
If I recall correctly, no one barged into your house and held you down and forced you to wear the mankini. That one was
the very first one was a bet, and I stand by a bet. I am a man of my word, and regardless of what it is, I will stand by my word. Would you agree with that, Slim Jim?
I would agree with that. I would also like to let you know that then the rest of the sexualization that comes up is a consequence of the decision you made.
People want to see my ass. They buy me thongs. They send me money. They send me money. They support the channel. If someone makes the contribution to me, I do believe that self-deprecating humor is something that everybody should pick up. And self-deprecating
we all know you have a degradation case, bro. It's okay.
Self-deprecating humor, in regardless of what it is, will build confidence in yourself. You can be anything. You can have a nose to here and a beard to there and think you love aliens. If your confidence in what you say, don't give a shit, doesn't matter then. The ability to let the things that truly don't matter just slide off your back is freeing. Not always
I love the
possible,
fact.
but freeing.
I love the fact that people still have the fucking gif of you swinging.
Hey, I'm gonna jump out real quick. I'm gonna.
If you go to Gers, you're banned.
I gotta go and see why this ETT guy been dodging me.
I am fucking
respect,
banning
Ray.
you. I'm banning
I'm
you.
sorry, man. It's like driving my OCD crazy. Like I literally emailed this motherfucker earlier today, and he's like, "Oh, I'm super busy," and he's on fucking Gers channel.
He fucking literally said to me, "MathPig, I challenge you to take me on," and I was like, "Right, man. Saturday night, no man."
Oh God, it's driving me nuts. Yeah, so sorry, MathPig. I don't mean to jump streams, but
In all honesty, man, I've been going for about 2.5. I'd be probably topping out at 3 hours and then jumping in Gers and giving him shit too. I've said to Ger this last 3 weeks, right? Me and him need to just find a time in the middle, and I can, like with the setup I have here, we can do a whole dual stream thing with one hangout. You know?
Yeah.
10 people.
And I'm not even doing them. You know, like if I was doing them, it'd be even like.
Oh no, it's a challenge now. I give you shit,
yeah.
and you were respectful, and Gers like, "Fuck you, let's make this a game."
Yeah, Gers a dick. All right, but yeah, maybe I'll see you guys over there once you guys finish up here. But
I love
gotta
that.
go
Gers a
now.
dick. I'm gonna go join the Dicks channel.
I'm like, dude, like you literally told me just a little bit ago you couldn't talk to me tonight. You know, like what the fuck?
It's because he planned to be with Ger.
Yeah, what a dick. Like, and where's Ger been? Like, me and you challenged this motherfucker. I didn't see Ger challenging this motherfucker.
He did on Ger's stream. Ger's too lazy.
All right. So yeah, y'all have a good night. Thanks for having me on.
Tell him he's a pee poo poo head. Pee pee poo poo head.
Yeah, I will definitely. All right, y'all have a good night.
Don't do anything I wouldn't.
Fucking banned.
I do all
fucking
the things. you wouldn't.
banned. Gone. Skeptic has been very quiet tonight. Skeptic, what's your thoughts on what we've been talking about?
I was just gonna say when they said don't do anything that they wouldn't do, I was wondering if MathPig was on the list of things they wouldn't do.
Yes.
Q?
No, I'm gonna say no.
Skeptic, you and Slim Jim I do not believe have ever met.
No, I believe this is the first time.
Right, well, I'm guessing that you've picked up that Slim Jim's a Catholic.
What was your first clue?
Right? To give Slim Jim the information, would I still be correct in saying that you would be describing yourself as an atheist?
Yes, that would be correct. I would just say there has been a recent adjustment in my position.
Cool, cool. Slim Jim, are you under the awareness of what an atheist is?
Yeah, it's somebody who believes that God is incoherent and the word is without meaning.
I would say that's one interpretation. The way I describe it is more so that theological and spiritual language doesn't make sense to me and is too vague and ill-defined. Not that it 100% doesn't have meaning, just that I don't understand what it means.
I mean, you could just shorthand that and say mentally disabled.
Wow.
I kid.
Yeah,
I
I'm not
kid.
doing that.
No. You didn't say all the trigger words, which is fine for YouTube. But, oh no, he's went black now. Now you're evil and dark.
What if it were described in some way that was common parlance?
Can you give an example?
I don't know. State something that you think is incoherent. I'd like to actually address you.
About God.
Is it about God?
Give me a common assertion that people make that you say, well, that's incoherent. Which I'm not saying that there's something wrong with you saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Well, for example, when people say that God is timeless, it's not that the concept is incoherent. It's that, to me, it's too ill-defined and vague, and I don't know what it means. So I don't know what it means for something to exist absent of time, or to exist for no amount of time, or to be eternal and exist for all of the time. I don't understand what those concepts mean. I just want to be very clear. I'm not making statements about the language itself. I'm making I'm making statements about basically my understanding of the language, that I do not understand what it means, not that it in and of itself is ununderstandable.
Right. Which I don't think at least I didn't think you were ever trying to say that. But, okay. So, you may already know, you may not, that this is a recent development. This idea of God being outside of time, and I think it's because of our recent our recent assertions and observations about time that this thing is being made. I don't think that's traditional at all to say something like that, and I don't think it's necessary to say something like that. And I think the parts of the texts where they're getting those ideas from is actually talking about there being no need for the thing to change. So it's timeless in that sense. Like you could say good fashion sense is timeless.
Ah, okay. I haven't heard that interpretation before.
Richard, when you say recent development, how do you define recent?
Last couple thousand years to probably maybe even less than 1,000 years.
Okay.
Any thoughts, Skeptic, on them statements that Richard made?
No, I think that's interesting. I still then have questions about the metaphysics of God, but that definition is more understandable to me because we can relate it. I'm more used to dealing with the philosophical, ontological, cosmological, teleological arguments, and those arguments usually pertain to something like God has to be outside of time and space. In order to create time, he must not be of time, and in order to create space, he must not be of space.
Right.
So that's an interesting interpretation.
Well, those are philosophical views that I mean, the argument has gotten that far down the road that people have to assert things like that, you know. But I don't find that. I don't find a timeless personage anywhere in the stories. I find timeless ideas in the stories.
And that's the thing. I've spoken with people who would say the exact opposite. And me being a non-believer and me being, I don't know where you stand on it, but me being a non-believer on the outside, I also can't tell who's right and who's wrong. If one person says God is within time and someone else says God isn't, I have no way to distinguish who is actually correct, especially if I don't understand, like, you have your conception of timeless, but someone else has a different conception. I don't know whose conception is accurate, if anyone's conception is even accurate. So
well, actually, the person who says the personage of God is timeless, outside of time, living forever from eternity past into eternity future, including the now, is extrapolating that necessarily from the view that they have. But there's little in the text to justify that kind of an idea. I take the texts very seriously, and that what the text says about God is that God is a set of ideals, and lists them. I could list them and we could argue what they mean, but they're certainly ideals. And there's a lot of repercussions to the ideals. The ideals are so specific that if you were to follow them, they would require certain things of you. Like if you're a humanitarian, it is required of you that you're nice to people. You see, if you're a Cub Scout, it's required of you that you learn knot tying. Okay, not that knot tying is Cub Scoutism, you know. And it's not that Cub Scoutism is only knot tying, but there's a lot of things to being a Cub Scout per se. There's a lot of things to being a Yahwist, but Yahweh is described as that set.
Okay. I'd be very interested if you have a video on this or something. I'd love to hear, like, because I don't.
You might have something laying around somewhere.
Did I
He's
make
laughing because we're working on our fourth series on exactly these ideals.
4 years with Richard. Every
4 years
Tuesday.
of it. So there might be something laying around to this effect.
Okay, yeah, because I've heard a lot of counter arguments to the ideas you're proposing, and it's one of those things where there are different denominations in Christianity that believe different things, and I can't tell amongst the different denominations which are. Some say the text is literal, some say the text is metaphorical, some say some of it's literal and the rest is metaphorical, and that's confusing to me from an outside perspective.
Skeptic.
Of course it is.
Me and Richard read one verse, and then we talk for 3 hours and unpack what that one verse means to Richard. Literally
We
for the
sometimes
last.
read 2.
Okay, sometimes we read 2. All right, and last week I made the point of having to stop so we could read 4 just at the end of the episode, so that we wouldn't have just read 1. Like, we unpack things to the point where
That's
it's
incredible.
retentive. All right.
That's incredible. I take notes when I read through the Bible, and I barely make it through one verse. So the fact that you got through 4 is an astonishment.
Right, now, hold on. I just want to get this right, because I'm going to read it from their About page.
Kazum is music backwards. That's who Kazum is.
Yes.
It's Keyzoom, yeah? Keyzoom?
Kazum, yes.
Keyzoom, all right. Thank you for
I
sharing.
was really tripping to as soon as I clicked it, I was in the StreamYard. I'm not used to that happening, but you've got a different setup here. So
I don't know if you use StreamYards for your general Hangouts, or if you do Hangouts, man, this is the first time we've met, but a very good friend of ours is a programmer, and he's written a little auto program for StreamYards, so when we use it in conjunction with OBS, I can mute everyone, it'll auto add people, it'll do all these things that I wanted to do in the background, so I don't have to worry, and I can just stream and do that.
Robbie,
right on.
Have him shill his stuff. He's awesome.
Richard, you know of Keyzoom?
Yes, have him shill his stuff. He's awesome.
I see this.
I
Nearly
don't-
30,000 subscribers.
I don't
Nearly
need to-
30,000, man. I feel
yeah,
privileged.
I don't need to show my stuff. I'm fine.
Oh no, you can
should see it because a lot of people would really enjoy it. Shill your stuff.
I have a YouTube channel, and I talk about social. I do social commentary videos. I also make music videos, and I do a lot of nature walk videos. So
brilliant. We have people in the community who are also very big musicians. We have Simos Funk, who is a guitar player who grew up playing the local scene in and around England and has interacted with people like Queen and all like that back in the 80s and stuff like that. We also have Christopher Mowdy, who has PhDs in different psychologies, emotions and things like that, and smells, the emotion of the psychology of smell is his thing. But that motherfucker can play bass like I don't know what. He has like just an unreal bassist player. So yeah, welcome, Keyzoom. You know, thank you for coming, thank you for subscribing, and
oh, gladly.
you know, I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen tonight and enjoyed the
So far, yeah.
I've tried to be fair.
A question I have for some of the others is, do you believe in the concept of infinity? Because I've known some people who don't believe in that concept. They think it's invalid. I'm like, well, it's valid mathematically. So how about in reality? Does it go beyond mathematical?
Can I ask you for some small? I'm not going to pull a Leo, all right, and start over talking people. I don't know if you've seen Leo. Philia said earlier, over talking people. Love you, Leo. But there's lots of different types of infinity. Like, you know, infinity 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the end of time, you know, is actually a smaller infinity than the difference between 1 and 2. You know, there's different stages of infinity. So I'm wondering what your mathematical understanding is of infinity. Are you saying that just the idea that things go on for ages? And then what are your meaning is in infinity in relevance to time and philosophy?
Well, I mean, even something like 2.3 with a line over the 3, you know, that's infinity. Just even things like that display a concept of infinity. So I guess kind of where I'm going with it is I kind of look at I think the Big Bang is part of a cycle, and it just happens over and over again, and that space and time is infinite, and we're just I don't know.
So you would be a proponent of Big Bang, Big Crush, Big Bang. You would be a proponent of the cycle.
A cycle, yes.
Yes.
An infinite cycle.
Yes. No, I can understand that. Now, that was big, I think, in the early 90s. Then it was dismissed for a wee while. And then recently there has been a few papers that have come out to suggest leanings towards that again. I haven't checked them.
I have a question for Kazoom.
What's that?
Does the crunch have to happen at the point of origin of the bang? Or could there be crunches in other locations in space? And if so, could there be multiple expansions and crunches, even simultaneous?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think
that's a very good question.
From the knowledge that I am aware of, you end up with the heat death and smalls, and then it crushes not to the same point again, but possibilities of that. Then it's yes, Richard, that is definitely a possibility.
So here's what I think. I think we're observing pockets. I think the expansion is a pocket. It's not the whole of it. But anyway, what if there are obvious actual infinities? 1/3. That's an infinity. Because as soon as you make that, some part of 100% of something, you end up with 33, 33 forever.
No. Okay, right.
Yes, you do.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
You said no.
Yes, I disagree that a third. I disagree that a third is an infinity. I'm saying that when you write a fraction in the form of decibels, it is a recurring number. What I disagree with is the fact that it's an infinity, because I literally can take a third of a pie and just stuff myself with 2/3 and give someone else.
Now he's wait a minute, Sergeant Slim Jim. He's MathPig, not language pig.
It's pronounced not English
there, but
pig.
we all knew what he meant.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't the whiskey that I was hearing.
No,
because I have been drinking.
Could I jump in to this?
Skeptic on ahead.
So the concept of infinity, I can see arguments from both sides in the sense of an infinite amount that by some definitions of an amount that necessitates a finite amount, and you can never hold infinity or possess infinity as an ever-growing concept because there is no finite limitations to it. But I also think, like everyone's been pointing out, it depends on what you mean by infinity and what kind of infinity you're referring to. One kind of infinity that I find very interesting is basically the Zeno's paradox, which is in any finite amount of distance, there's an infinite number of halfway points. You can always divide and divide and divide and divide and divide forever.
So fractions.
That could be considered an infinity, but at the same time, it's not an infinity. It is a measurable quantitative amount. So I think it really depends on the definition. I'm not quite sure I fully understand the concept enough to say whether it's valid or invalid. I would just say I think some things could be infinite, but I don't know for sure, especially because I don't think, as humans, I don't think we have the capacity to actually check and count for infinity. At some point, we will stop. So I don't think we could ever demonstrate that infinity through some kind of like measurement or counting or something like that.
But we could all agree that it's a placeholder like 0.
Right. Yes, that's the point.
It's a necessary idea that we have to work with. Yeah.
Yes, I would totally agree.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
So, like, for talk's sake, the idea of the square root of -1 is a known, imaginary number, because it's a recurring number, and you can never technically get the square root of -1 in certain mathematical equations. You make it a square root of -1, you work past your point, and when you get to a different point, you can then take that away. So you end up with the square root of something and -1. It's a necessity in mathematics rather than something that you can actually reach out and grab and write down.
Too far from Mike.
It's an idea in mathematics, and it's described as something that you write down. So when you take steps, you know, it's impossible for me to stab Richard and then unstab Richard. But in the idea of the mathematical sense with an imaginary number, you know, you make a step, which is stabbing Richard, but later on in the story, you want to unstab Richard, and it makes you all have a hangout. You know, it justifies the end. That's a bad comparison.
It's interesting,
It's
though.
a really bad comparison. It's not a
Stabbing
concept.
Richard
It's
is
the-
always justified.
Well,
gonna
maybe
say-
not
Except on
Richard.
Sundays.
No, you get the idea. It's a mathematical step that you will undo later. You don't need to figure it out. You just know that it is a concept. You know, the idea of the square root of -1 is an imaginary number. That's it.
It is
Now
interesting.
imagine
I
if
can
there
agree
was
with that.
some. Imagine if there was some being that existed in a way that like was beyond 3 dimensions and looked at time as almost like a solid thing, almost like something that you could touch.
You've seen Interstellar.
Instead of, huh?
You've seen Interstellar.
Oh no, I have not.
Ah, yeah,
You're not
that's
missing much.
literally what happens when he falls inside a black hole. He gets jumped outside, and time becomes a 3-dimensional little rooms that he can move between and pick where he wants to be in the story.
Wow, Interstellar, huh?
It drags it out, and it really does. It goes into time dilation, and it does it very well. I apologize for spoiling it for you, but I
Oh
assumed
no,
with
I'll
the
have
fact.
to. I'll have to check that out. No, I love those movies, and usually, spoilers don't really ruin movies for me most of the time because it's about getting there.
Yes,
it's
I
not
understand.
about the actual plot. It's how you get there that matters.
Oh yeah, no,
you
I
know, it's
Worthwhile
the
piece of art.
characters, it's the writing, it's the choreography, the cinematography, there's so many things.
Mhm.
So
No, I
yeah.
agree with you. I would be
Yeah.
fully aware of most episodes of Dragon Ball Z whenever they were, or Dragon Ball Super when they were releasing it. I would be a week aware of the plot and what's happening. But then when you watch it, it's fantastic. It's different. It's a totally, yeah, I get you. I understand.
Any worthwhile piece of art can sustain multiple viewings without diminishing the emotional impact.
What I
Yep.
used to do, now Dragon Ball Super is coming back in 2023. It was released and I would watch it live through a feed from Japan at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning on a Saturday night in Japanese. No subtitles, watching it live. Then when I woke up in the morning, some idiot from the internet would have put subtitles on, which are quite good, and I'd have watched it again with my daughter while I feed her in the morning. And then
you're a
later
Dragon
on
Ball
in the
fan?
day, when I go home after doing that, I'd lay on the sofa and a professional would have put subtitles to it, and it's released on Adult Swim, and I would have watched
And you'd
it
watch it again.
and fallen asleep on the sofa 3 times in the space of like 12 hours. Yeah,
You're a Dragon Ball fan.
a little bit.
Was it hard telling your family that you're gay?
I took my daughter to watch it in Japanese and subtitled about 3 weeks ago. The new movie, she loved it.
Like a good father does.
Thank you, Girth. Girth? Someone
No,
said
I mean my
Girth.
kids are obsessed with Trigun, so
Fucking Mowdy, Girth Vader in the chat. All right, so I said thank you, Girth.
I actually came home from work this afternoon, and they were watching Trigun.
I tried to get her to watch Voltron. She's not a big fan. She didn't like Voltron.
You know,
Uh,
I actually saw more of the CGI remake from the late '90s than I did of the original.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the most recent one that's on Netflix more than the original. She's massively into Pokemon. She's sort of fading off it now. She's not as big. We used to have to go for walks and catch Pokemon. I have it in 2 fucking phones, right? But she said to me one time, wouldn't it be, great to go to actually watch a Pokemon battle? So I showed her the first series of Love, Death, Robots. You know that scene? Has anyone here seen Love, Death, Robots? Nobody.
I have not.
Okay, we'll take a chance on a copyright strike. And you can question me on the fact of... Yeah, you're all going to fucking hit me and tell me I'm a bad
Hey, it's not my channel, so.
Man, I'm just tripping when I check on the YouTube, look at this stream. It's only just a few seconds off of what I'm hearing
We
live.
fucking hate all the blacks. Kill them all now. Fuck niggers. Fuck.
Wow, that took me longer than it should because I was searching for something else.
Shit.
I apologize for stream bombers. Wow, that doesn't
Did
usually.
Did that make it on the actual stream?
It did.
Shit.
I don't care.
Literally.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. What I am gonna do is take automatically add people off.
Yeah.
So that's now gone. That's the problem, Kazum. Yeah, that happens sometimes with this. It automatically adds.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, wow, how do you avoid porn bombers?
Well, usually what I would do is I limit the amount of spaces. So I actually have the control of limiting the amount of spaces, but it's been going for a while. So when they automatically join, they get popped behind the scenes. So usually I'll see it, but the stream won't. But
okay.
I didn't do that because I've been drinking and having a bit of banter and smoking weed.
Okay.
Right. If that's you, Darg, can you show your face? I know who Darg is. I'll not put your face on stream, but can you show that it is and it's not someone stealing your name?
Like something that I see people do a lot on these is they'll say, hey, do this symbol or something. You'll tell people, do this, and then they'll copy it, and then, okay, great, you can come in now.
Yeah, I did not think that was Darg. Cause... yeah, I didn't think it was you. No, that's the problem. You see the way I implemented that? So then it went behind the background?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not happening. Now they're popping in. You can hear the beep, but nobody can see them. Oh, I fucked up the entire stream because I switched the thing off to do that. And I forgot to switch it back on again. So yeah, they can beep and... Oh, look. Even my own bot is joining now. My own bot that I'm in complete control of, right? That's in the chat now. That's literally typing, that's not me, right?
Everybody's got their haters.
Oh, this is hilarious. Oh, yeah, keep it going, keep it going. Mikes, if you're live and you can hear me, scratch your nose. Yeah, Mike's not scratching their nose. Oh, we've got someone pooing in the background now. Isn't this wonderful? So that person...
Man, this very thing is why I very rarely do live streams. Because, I mean, as far as StreamYard, because people can do this stuff so much. It's so rampant. And I don't know what people get out of it either.
Yeah, I pre-record all my conversations.
Oh, no, I don't mind, because once you have the implications put in, I just forgot to put them in order, before it happens.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's a lot to keep up with, and sometimes I don't want to pay attention. I just want to... Fortunately, my channel is small enough that most people don't go to the effort of vandalizing my streams.
Yeah.
I think it's funny. But there's a topic. How sad is your life that is your attention? That you must do that. Like, I'm looking at K-Zoom here. He's got a nice leather jacket. He's got a nice setup. He's got good lighting. I'm thinking at least a Canon. He's not using a webcam. That man's got like a Logitech 920 or else a nice Canon SLR mirrorless. Something going on there, nice mic. Clearly not a porn bomber. Decent person you can talk to. In saying that, our numbers jumped by 4 people the first time we got the portal.
Based.
Thank you, bots, for watching and bumping our numbers up. Skeptic, you have to dip soon, I think you said. So would you like to say anything before you leave?
I don't think so. I think I enjoyed the conversation. I enjoyed generally how it was and how it was managed and things like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, then and that was it. And hopefully, now that I have an editor, I'll actually be able to keep a consistent schedule.
Oh my
instead of
goodness, it just
disappearing for
doesn't
months
stop.
at a time.
It just doesn't stop. The porn bombers just keep coming. They just keep coming.
But yeah, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the stream, and I'll see you all later.
All right, have a good night.
Skeptic. Oh, I lost him. I sent him the link earlier to the cult, and he never joined. He does have Discord he's a person on Discord. Didn't join the cult. Speaking of which, the person who I spoke of earlier, now he's got the hearing on. Axe, great leader, all hail spooky bedhernism. This is the man that can play bass like a god.
I am a convert to.
Sorry,
Spooky
I heard my name before I logged out.
Don't forget to join the cult. I have to get at least 5 new people every week to join the cult, or I get kicked out of the cult that I left, because the point of the cult is to leave the cult. It's not a cult, it's a way of life. So please join the cult.
Wow, that was fantastic.
So if I don't join
you
the
got
cult,
all
I
of
can
the
keep
bumper
you trapped
stickers
there.
in. Also, lemon bars can go fuck themselves.
Oh no, I meant I forgot about the lemon bars. Fuck. Yeah. Join the cult.
So I can keep you trapped there if I don't join the cult, is what I'm hearing.
No, I've already left the cult.
Ah, okay. Never mind then. I'll
You
join.
need to join the cult. He's already left the cult. That's the point of the cult.
I'm still in charge of the cult though.
He's in charge of the cult's Discord, but he's left the cult because it's a way of life. And the
Of
point of
course.
the cult is to leave the cult.
All right. Bye again.
It was a pleasure seeing you.
Mote.
Speaking of which, it's a pleasure to see you, Kazumi.
Yeah, good to see you too.
You may or may not recognize me. We were on streams a long time ago.
Yeah,
You're
I can't remember your first name, but I recognize. Yeah, I recognize you and your name. So it's good to see you, man.
This is the
Good to
person
see you
I
as well. It's good to
discussed.
see that you're still online.
Yeah.
30,000 subscribers nearly, Mouty.
Who's that? This guy?
Yeah, this guy.
Of course. Have you heard his compositions?
No, but I was comparing him to you and saying he should
No,
talk
no.
to a
You have
guy
no
I know
idea.
plays bass really well, you know?
You have no idea. This guy writes songs like, if Dream Theater took acid and had sex with Ronnie James Dio, the love child
Wow.
would be like the music of Kazumi.
He just
But even
wants you to
better,
join the cult.
because
He's just saying this, so you'll join the cult.
Wow.
I am playing 0 games. I've given you these compliments in the past. I don't know if you remember, but like, because you've made, this is how deep my memory goes. You made music videos of you lip syncing the parts that you sang, but you were actually singing them in the tracks, if I remember correct.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
killing it. You're killing it. Your melodies are on fucking point. They're laser sharp, cutting through this awesome chord progression, and it's great. You write
Wow.
great tunes, man.
Wow. Thanks, man. That's awesome.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. How are things with you?
They're all right.
I'm screaming for a
I
thumbnail of
appreciate
you
your honesty.
jamming. There's no thumbnails with you jamming, so I can find your music. They're all you in front of a mic with titles like Martial Law.
Well,
60
if you go
Freedoms.
to the playlists, there's a music playlist, and I've got I got my stuff there. Some of my stuff there.
My music?
Yes.
Check that shit.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I've
goodness.
been
You have a
wanting to-
nose
I
ring?
haven't-
Oh, I'm loving this. The playlist starts from 2009, right?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep, yep.
okay, right. Give me 1 second till I do some do I do some editing magic. Used to Marty,
Let me
away.
talk. Let me have a little talk with Kazumi. Actually, I want to do a little listen session. You were going to say something, Kazumi.
I don't know what it was now. That's all right.
MathPig interrupted. You said you wanted to. That's how your sentence started.
It was
Well,
about
I want. The past few years, I haven't been working on music much, and I've wanted to get back into it again, and I've sometimes wondered whether or not it's worth it, and what you've just said there was very reassuring for me, and I appreciate that very much.
Well, you're welcome. It's genuine, and I totally understand the whole self-doubt part of like, why do I do music? Like for me, it's like it used to be to play gigs. I don't want to play gigs anymore. Every time I think about like the fantasy of being on stage under a spotlight, all I can think about is setup, sound check, breakdown. Like that's all I can think about. Like
yes.
And maybe I'm just too. I've gotten too old and jaded and domestic.
No, that's exactly what goes through my head too, and I've never just said it outright, and that's exactly what it is. Yeah, exactly what goes through my mind too.
I can't not think that.
What's wrong with 4 hours of work for 1 hour of play?
It used to, when I drank more, it was no problem because like all those hours were filled hanging out at the bar drinking.
Okay, we've got Nose Ring Kazum.
Yes.
Is there a particular song you would like as your first impression? Or do you want to go with a nose ring?
Probably this one is pretty good. Yeah, this one's pretty good. I don't belt it necessarily on the vocals, but it's a good song.
Audience, let me know if you can hear it. I'm jerry-rigging this like a motherfucker.
Odd meter.
Falling down a spiral of the opposite extreme. Crawling through it.
That is your voice, yes?
Huh?
That is your voice, yes?
Yes.
Yep.
That wasn't fashion just for me.
Sorry, it's just a thing now. People in TikTok make music and lip sync, you know? Fuck 'em.
Oh, yeah.
Finding things I never thought I'd ever realize. It's all because of this. Trapped in my empowerment of flowing through the breeze. Living in an attitude not postured on my knees. Everything will come in time as it is meant to be. It's happening to me. Time can only heal what has not just been ignored. Fate will only pry when it has not been absorbed. Time will tell. Fate will quell. Realizations only bequeath us when we fail.
I love that line.
I'm still trying to count out the meter. It seems to be in 5-ish.
It's 5, and then the last section of it's yeah. 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5. So it's
love it.
Never mind that we become addicted to our past. We need not be ashamed.
It's more Zappa now that I'm listening to it again. I'm hearing a lot of Zappa.
Yeah, there's definitely, there's that, I can hear that. I was thinking Beefheart or something. I was trying to place it. Yeah, it's very Zappa.
Nice.
Like especially Steve Vai's Flexible album. Like that kind of Zappa influence.
It's the talking yet singing and yet not being William Shatner. That's really
nice.
Strikes me as a lot like Rush.
Slim Jim, sorry, I did not hear that, so I will pause you a little quieter.
Sorry, I was saying.
What a wonderful pause. That's a porn shot right there.
It strikes me as very reminiscent of Rush, but with less Claypool's energy.
Okay. Right on. That's cool.
I'm definitely getting also some like maybe it's the tones you're using. I'm getting some like late 70s prog rock.
It's just like an orchestra.
Prog, arena rock influence.
What is that?
Like, I want to say Styx, but that's that seems cheap. Like there's better versions of it that I can't think of right
What
now.
is that instrument that's giving
Yes.
you that sort of synthetic orchestra?
And I'm not agreeing with you. I'm saying yes.
Yeah, I'm smelling what you're selling. Yeah, John Anderson, Rick Wakeman. Yeah, it's great. It's all things fantastic about fucking prog rock, man. It's odd meter. It's good lyrics. It's a melody that like actually makes sense, right? And that's the worst part about Dream Theater. Each individual cat can like write great songs and play great. Let me rephrase that. Each individual instrumentalist can play their instrument well, but their compositions are jive.
Dargendorp needs to look up more Frank Zappa, more Captain Beefheart, sort of, and then let YouTube take you down a wee rabbit hole of 3 or 4 songs. Bring it back on track again, and then listen to that. That's sort of, you know, that's like my really early 1920s weed days sort of music. You know, when you're just sitting there on the sofa with all your mates, and you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna listen to some Zappa and some Beefheart, and just sort of like. You want to do 16 hours of Lord of the Rings? No, bah, man, put that in my listen to the music, listen to the back. Yeah, no, it's giving me narcissistic. No, I was going to say narcissistic. It's giving me nostalgic tones.
Now I got it. It's not specifically King Crimson. You know what it is? I'm sorry, I just gave it away.
Oh, I love King. One of my favorite albums is Red.
That's fantastic.
See, these are all names.
There's Striva Perfect Pair. There's Red. There's
Lark's Tongue and Aspic.
Yeah, like there was like 5 in a row that had the Adrian Belew, Tony Levin, I think Bill Bruford.
Bill Bruford, yep.
Can I just tell the 2 musicians on chat that the person who is very supportive of the channel helps me with all of my computer tech, even helped me pick this computer. Knows all the groups, don't analyze, bored by your music theory. Fight. No. No, they're in, they'll be going to bed soon. So, night, dogs. Thank you very much for coming by, and I really do appreciate all your support. Oh, I ruined it with a bad joke. I apologize for the bad joke.
Jersey Dago into the hang, and next thing you know, we're doing a deep dive into your musical oeuvre.
Right? Oh no, that's right. We're gonna. I really don't want. Can someone screenshot the porn shot before I unpause it? Okay, right. Well, give me another song. Give me another one. That's another good porn shot. It's like, yeah, I just did this. Now look at me. Oh, there's so much. Do we go recent? Is it organized by date and time?
What?
Your playlist.
Your playlist.
No, I think it's kind of assorted. No, it's well, the later parts of it are, but the earlier parts of it are not. So.
Okay, well, I'm going to leave the choice in the hands of Maute, former great leader. I want you to pick. Can you see? Hold on, let me see if I can make it select.
Oh, any of them. Just randomly pick one. And make no matter amount of me.
How's that? Can you now see
You've
the
added
song?
time. Because hopefully that is also an odd meter one. Just as a play on the word. You know, hopefully that's the goal there.
Which do you
Out
want?
of time. Out of time. Yes.
Sounding dinner time jazzy here.
I already like this one.
Always a new
Oh no, come on, keep my clothes on.
Only this time it's somewhat newer than the rest. It won't be long. We'll be getting out champagne. That's just a dream we have.
Shred over this.
Oh, you're gonna do this.
Much stronger than the rest.
This is just
We scrape
a D minor.
on the bottom of the tide. Nothing is for certain when you're out of time.
I'm gonna plug my bass in.
Nothing is forgotten when you're on the line. with someone bigger than the rest. We'll act it out as if to try and inflate. It's just the team we have.
Tune right here, baby.
Only this time it has more corruption than the rest.
I'll be right back. I need to piss.
There it is.
They have Orwell on their hands. Nothing will reduce you to an empty space. Nothing will seduce you when you make your case.
Am I hearing lovage? Lovage. Do you know of the band Lovage?
No.
I know a guy that knows that band pretty well. His name's MathPig.
Oh, he takes his headphones off as the song ends, and I'm going to introduce Lovage.
Another
Welcome.
one.
Welcome back. Have you ever heard of a guy called Mike Patton?
Yeah, from Faith No More.
This is a collaborative project he did with him and another guy called Dan the Automator. It's only one album. It was released early 2000s. Okay. The album, their only album, is called Music to Make Love to Your Old Lady By.
Oh, that's what's up.
All right, that particular last song. Oh yeah, playlist. Check out the titles. And the captions. Oh, we can't do captions and show you the lyrics, but you'll hear the words. You're not stupid. Oh, we're totally going to get struck for playing this shit. Just as I
You could.
hold on. I'll just look for the, if we're going to get struck, I'm going to get struck for the most poignant song on the album. It is an album. The lyrics are it's from a sex worker's point of view. We'll probably end this stream very soon. Everybody should be over watching Girls anyway.
Why?
Probably a dumpster fire. I don't know. Right. Listen to the lyrics. Oh, this is wonderful. I love the fact that I'm doing this. Hold on. I apologize for the entire audience. The audience, go look up this song, but I am now muting the stream so that YouTube can't hear it and everyone on the panel can. So please open Lovage Sex I Am in an open panel and have it running in the background so you will be able to hear us, but not the song. Aren't I? There we go. Everybody can hear us again. Yeah, you hear that speech that she makes from a sex worker's point of view, you know? It's quite a good album. This is Mike Patton. That's what I was hearing hints of. Not that particular song, but that sort of style. And this album, definitely. Kazoom, do you know of Lovage? You've heard of Mike Patton.
Negative.
You've heard of Mike Patton, though, yes?
No.
From, please remind me again, Marty.
Faith No More.
Faith No More.
Oh, okay. The lead singer?
Done a lot of side projects. This is one of the side projects he did. And it's 2000s, it's early 2000s, 2002, 2003, I think.
Okay.
But it's very old schooly 70s style with like a moderny twist. And yeah, very similar to what I was hearing from your last song that we listened to, Out of Time.
Okay. Nice.
It's called Lovage, music to make love to your old lady by. I have used it. It does work. Hello, Jody. I do think we'll be ending up soon. So we'll be going off stream. I'm happy to hang around and stuff, but the whole I want to play music and listen to music and stuff like that without being copyright struck, which is annoying. Which is something, thanks to Marty, he's introduced me to a certain person who's helping me work on my website, going to give me some tips to work on my website. And these are the incidences where I think YouTube lacks. Having the ability to go and just have some music that you want to talk about playing in the background without being fucking blanked. I don't want to go on and scream words and disrespect to people and be a bigot. I just want to listen to some Metallica while I talk with my mates. You know, it's like, fuck you, Napster. You know.
I mean, wouldn't it be awesome if we could all, like, watch an actual movie and make comments about it and pause and then you know, I mean,
that is
wouldn't
possible.
that be cool?
That is possible. It's called Discord. You can come and do that on Discord. It just has to be pre-recorded.
Yeah.
That's the only thing, but you can do it live with your YouTube audience if they come and join the so that you will have
on
your
Discord.
panel. Yeah, you have all of this.
Yeah.
And it's exactly like this, and everyone can watch and comment. You just have to then upload it to YouTube at a later date.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wasn't even thinking about. I don't even think it could be uploaded to YouTube at a later date because of the copyright reasons for what you're watching. So.
Well, you see, if you were recording it through OBS, you just limit the audio. So you can have
okay. Yeah.
music in the background while the movie's playing. And yeah, no, it works. So, Marty, we lost Marty anyway. So yeah, it's just the three of us. I want to say thank you very much, Kazumi, for
Kazoom. It's Kazoom, but everyone gets it wrong. So
Kazume, I think, is an anime character and bringing something back. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for coming by. I think it was through Richard's influence you maybe got here because he's aware of you. I don't know how you got here, but
I searched for the phrase "open panel" and on videos that are live on YouTube, and yours came up. So
that's wonderful. And considering that 2 people already knew you on panel straight away, wonderful.
Right on, man.
You know, I appreciate you coming back. And I love the fact that Gers in the chat going, my name is MathPig and I think I'm so cool. I'm literally telling everyone to go to your stream, motherfucker. I have it in the small screen telling people to go here. You can suck my dick. Yeah, so you're welcome back anytime. We do Saturday nights. Open panel.
He didn't get his 2 wishes.
He did not get his 2 wishes. If you could really quickly, would you have 2 wishes, Kazumi? Again. Kazumi.
I suppose that everyone who is alive now, every human that's alive now, could be immortal, but at the cost of all of the us not being able to create new people. So I don't know. It's just something I was thinking about as you were talking about it earlier. I was like,
Immortality
what
with-
would be a wish? Another thing would be to be able to control a number of things with my mind.
Oh, Richard.
Sir.
What did we talk about on Tuesday night that was personal to me?
More words. I need more words.
Did I mention to you anything about anybody that I don't talk to very often, and when in need we contact each other?
Yes.
Woke up the next morning at 7:10. They'd sent me a message saying, "How are you? Miss your face." My reply was, "Did you watch last night's stream?" And they're like, "I don't watch any
No,
of your
they
YouTube
didn't.
bullshit, Robbie."
No, but you thought of them enough that they thought of you.
They texted me at 7:10 the next morning. I awoke to
These
their
things
message.
happen all the time. I don't know why anyone denies them.
I don't deny them. I just
Not
don't
you personally. I said why anyone denies them. We know these things happen.
I just thought it's another coinkydink. It's another one of those
Yeah, sure.
coinkydinks. Them incidences that I am yet to explain. Reinforcement.
I need to head out, but
Brandon.
I'm really glad that I was able to. I'm glad I found your stream, and I hope to be in them more often.
That would be lovely.
Cool.
I'm looking for you. I've clicked out of your page to find the fucking Lovage one. Hold on, I go back so we can share your link. Cause go on YouTube, fucking CCUME. And I love your cowboy hat too.
Right on.
Copy and into the chat. And for the last few people that are watching, please do go and subscribe to Kazoom. Thank you
See,
very
now,
much.
Kazoom, I'm not educated and I don't know a lot of cool words, but I love how quirky and endearing and meaningful your songs are, and thank you for that.
Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, man.
Tip my hat to you, but it's in the bedroom.
All right. Well, have a good night, everyone.
On that note, everybody, don't forget, like, subscribe, all that YouTube bullshit and all that fucking shit that doesn't matter regardless. And the most important thing, think for yourself. None of us are experts. We're all assholes with opinions. Think for yourselves.
Yep. Hey, catch y'all later.
Have peace.